Drop out, drop back in again.
No worries, bud. We're live, guys. Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to GKP. I hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's well.
Yeah, up and down.
Usual thing. We'll be right back with you all after this. He says. Welcome back. That did make me giggle as we were going through them. I thought I'd put some in. I thought while we're doing the intro and we got them coming in, the intro is quite a long, lengthy intro, so I can get the chance to put people's comments as they come in there. And we got that little over there that did make me giggle quite a bit. Evening, Paddy. Piss off. Good evening, Will. Good evening, everybody. And thanks very much for joining us. Rick will be with us. He's running late a little bit, but he will be with us as soon as possible. He sent a message through so we know that he is coming, but he's running behind a little. Had a good week, guys. How's everybody doing?
Busy.
Yeah, not too bad.
Hectic. Trying to catch up from the weekend. Trying to do water changes when they turn the water off. God bless them. Yeah, they picked a good day to go and jackhammer through the water mains. Then you got chloramine problems, flushing that through.
Talking of
What?
pond problems, I ain't going to put a video out about it because I could kick myself. The last 3 weekends we have been, well, no, that's a lie. The last, God knows how many weekends, about 10, maybe more.
Yeah.
Weekends we've been really busy. But what I've been doing is when we're going out on a weekend, I've been doing my filter cleans on a Friday night instead. And I've forgotten that my KH in my tap water, and over the last 3 weekends, I've done water changes, and I forgot to buffer my KH back up. On returning from New Forest Coy at the weekend, everything looked perfectly fine. Everything looked all right. I got on Monday. Fish looked like they were a little bit lethargic, a bit slow coming up on food. Well,
Yeah.
Could be temperature, just thought nothing of it because it has dropped. It's been miserable.
You did say that they weren't eating, didn't you?
Yeah, it's been absolutely miserable and it's arseholed it down all weekend. My wife said, pond's been overflowing across garden, and I can tell it is because it's still squidgy like a bog. I come home on Tuesday night and my kahaku is cruising around with the dorsal out the top of water. And all the rest of fish grouped up like it's middle of winter. I thought, what the hell's going on there? Something a bit strange. So first thing, open filter shed up, open up the filter, took a sample of water out, did some water tests. Jesus Christ, guys, I have never seen water tests like it. At 0 KH, my pH was off the chart, didn't even exist. It almost looked like urine. And I thought, shit, man, that's bad. Imagine the ammonia test, the yellow that it should be. That's what colour my pH was. So I'm thinking, fucking hell, what's going on here, man? So I did an ammonia test. Well, I shit you not, the royal blue that's at the side of mine there, it was darker than that. It was absolutely off the scale. Didn't even show up, past the skull and crossbones. And I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? What's happened? The only thing I can put it down to is my KH has dropped because I've not been adding it. So every time I've water changed, which has done 2 good cleans of the filter, dropped out 600 to 900 litres and give it a good 20% top back up. And I've done that for the last 3 weeks running and completely forgotten to put back in the buffer to bring my KH back up. And I've missed it for 3 weeks running, which meant my KH, boom, plummeted, which made my pH drop to nothing, which made my ammonia, well, 10 times worse than what it should have been. And in the process, I thought, right, the only thing I can do is get some water changes done, get the pH right, get the KH back up. So I got the KH up to 10, I got my pH back up to 8 because obviously putting that much in. But I did it over a period from 5:30 through to 11:30 at night. And I gradually did water changes out, let it settle a little bit, let them get used to it, added a bit more, added a bit more, added a bit more. Managed to get everybody all around and everybody were coming up to top and looking for like they were interested in a little bit of food. I didn't feed them, but they were showing interest. So I thought, well, fingers crossed, everything's all right. We should be okay. Got up the following morning, my kahaku laid over on its side, barely breathing. And it's all right. It's not the world's best kahaku, but it was a kahaku that meant a lot to me. It was one that my son bought me, and it was the first proper fish that I had. I'm saying proper fish to somebody like me, a budget pond keeper. And it meant a hell of a lot. And we lost it. And it's died. And it's died through my stupidity. And that is one thing I ain't going to forgive myself for. I've really upset my son about it. And I've really upset myself over it. But it just goes to show, taking your eye off the ball because I was more focused on what we were doing than focusing on what I should have been doing and forgetting to do something. So now I'm going to try and see if I can come up with an auto doser of some way, shape or form to make it so that the bicarb is dosed back into the pond.
I'm sure Frankly Collins has done an auto doser on his channel.
I'm going to have a look into it, mate, of coming up with something because I can't have that happen again. Unfortunately, I went out yesterday, checked the parameters, did a little bit more of a water change again. and everybody came up for a feed, but I only fed them real light. My ammonia is a little bit high, but obviously with the KH dropping off like it did, basically killed all the living bacteria in my filler. It's just nailed it again. So I'm right back to new pond syndrome and starting off again. But it's one of those things, isn't it? You learn by your mistakes. But
I reckon you and Jim have got a similar water volume, and like he was saying when I visited the weekend, the only problem with small bodies of water is if it's gonna go wrong, it goes wrong really fucking quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple of ways of looking at it. I did a few things. Now, people might not necessarily agree with this, but I did a few things with her dead body, so to speak. She'd passed. She'd got a couple of little shimmies, one on her head, one on a head plate that I wanted to see if was removable without doing it on a fish that's alive. It made a lot of sense to me. I wanted to see if it was possible to remove the ones that were on the scales without damaging the scale. And it was really simple. To do that on a fish that's already passed, I know it's a little bit cruel, all the sense of it, but I think it's far better to do that with a fish like her than a living fish when you've never had a go at doing it before. So, I mean, that's one plus that I got out of it. She did do. She had recently spawned as well, quite like 2 weeks, the two of the weekends before, she'd spawned while I'd been away. Never seen any of the eggs, never got a chance to. I think the fish just demolished it. So that probably obviously increased the ammonia levels in the pond a little bit as well with a spawn that I'd water changed out, but then forgot to buffer back up again. And then doing that. But it's one of those lessons learned, isn't it? If I'd...
What about oyster shells, Gaz? Bag of oyster shells.
It was posted today in the Facebook group, and I'm thinking about going out and back because I've got room for it in my last barrel, so it can go in there without a problem.
No release.
Just leave it in there to do what it does. So I think I might do that. I think I might just get an onion bag, one of those onion sack type bags, Hessian bag, whatever, and bang it in there and leave it in there permanently, so I can keep. Yeah. And it also buffers your pH for you too. So there's a plus to it from that. Keeps buffers your pH, stops your pH drop, and keeps your KH up. Doesn't do anything for the ammonia. I was also thinking about going out and grabbing myself a bag of zeolite as well for such things. Now, when the shit hits the fan, that could just have been submerged straight in the pond and it'd have been doing something to it. But lesson learned, if it helps anybody, don't do what Gaz did. Make sure you keep your eye on, because I've always done a weekend or every 2 weeks water test just to make sure and just to check keep my eye on my parameters. I took my eye off it for 3 weekends and it bit me on the ass. The other way to look at it is that one fish acting the way it did give me an indication that there was something wrong. If I hadn't have acted on that, I just thought it was just that fish, perhaps maybe not feeling too cracky, I would have definitely lost them a lot. I would have lost everything. But I don't think they would have made it through the night should I have left it be.
You know, I know that every pond has that one fish that will always.
Well, before it was Miami, wasn't it? Miami were just a dickhead that showed every time there was a slightest thing wrong in that pond, as in parasites.
Miami was a junkie.
I think it was a cracker. It was normally that one, but that was the first thing. Seeing that fish act so different to what she normally does. First thing that fish normally does as soon as I go in garden, she's first at top to come up and look, followed by Chag, followed by Benny Ginger and the other bigger fish straight there to greet me. And she never even moves. I never even startled her. Even when I quick a little tap on the side of the pond with my foot, she just slowly swam away. And that was straight away. I thought, shit, there's something not right here. Ran straight in, got hose pipe out, got it connected up, dumped water out, got it topped back up, dumped a bit out, topped it back up, and added a little bit of KH, buffered it back up as I was going. I should have said buffer, but yeah, fucking pissed off, to say the least. Excuse my friend. But it did. I suppose you could say she sacrificed herself to save the others. If she hadn't shown me the signs that she were doing, I would have just thought it were cold temperatures because the pond has been dropping down to like 9 and 10 degrees on a night again. I thought that's what it might have been at first. the first night when I came on Monday, but the Tuesday night when they didn't react to food, I thought, what's going on here? That's not like them. And she's just steady, just cruising away and didn't spook off in any way, shape or form. I knew there was something wrong, but it's not a good thing. But it's one of those things.
I'm pleased. I don't have to worry about bicarb and all that sort of stuff in my pond, because it does. It just takes one more worry off the board, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah. Well, you see, thing was, Vince, if I go back to last year, not just gone, the spring before, my water parameters were at 8. Me and Mike tested them, and his were at 8, and it's gone from 8, and it's gradually dropped down and dropped down. Now this year, I was at 3, and now it's dropped down to 2. God knows why, but my KH is at 2, straight out of tap.
And so 7.5 to 8.
Yeah, I'm changing water out and putting back less KH in every time I do a water change, which is absolute shit. So
bonkers.
Yeah.
And New Yorkshiremen are supposed to have good fucking water.
Yeah.
And David Cook, I saw you comment. Yes, that would work.
Seskia's there. I didn't have a high KH. A high pH. I had a low pH. I had a pH that was less than 2, 3, 0. It was yellow, which is acidic, not the other way around. Yes, it does make the ammonia 10 times worse, but putting in the buffer, I introduced it gradually throughout from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Well. I know it's a jump for over several hours, but if I'd left them as they were, they'd have died, because the pH was 0. There was no pH. So I had to do something, and the only thing I could do was to bring that back up gradually over a 6-hour period. Well, thereabouts. But yeah. It says they should have kept the KH low, slowly taking it up in conjunction with the high ammonia. Ammonia more toxic with a high pH. I didn't have a high pH, I had a low pH.
Yeah.
High would be 10 plus.
Yeah, I've had that.
Low would be 0.
And
it went the other way.
Yeah, I had 12 plus.
But yeah, Chris, you're right there. Zeolite would have been fantastic, and I am going out to get myself some this weekend. I'm going to buy myself a sacket of it, because you can recharge it and you can reuse it, which is, if it ever happens again, I've got it there to the, ready to go and drop in and rock and roll. But hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Ricky's sea monkey collection in his bucket.
Yeah, yeah, that was wicked. Yeah. Yeah.
I did.
I didn't realise.
I was surprised to see them as big as they were. But yeah, I mean, everybody can say what you should have done, what I could have done. I know I did everything that I could have done. That's why I've only lost 1 fish. If I had done anything, I would have 100% lost more. So I've done what needed to be done. Just don't add salt to your pond with zeolite. Well, it just zeroes it out, doesn't it? Just puts it back. But the thing with, you can actually have zeolite in your filter system, because it only actually absorbs ammonia once it becomes part of your cycle. So it's not good, because then you don't get any other parts of the cycle going too. But you don't really need it, I suppose. If you're annihilating your ammonia, you don't need to have nitrite, nitrate, because it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, adding salt would just literally keep recycling your zeolite, wouldn't it? I guess, maybe.
Well, you've got to put a lot of salt into
neutralise
your zeolite,
way more salt than what I think your fish could tolerate. Anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. 0.3, I don't think would cut it with zeolite.
No, I think that bucket up at the forest is around sort of like 0.8 and higher. He said it was the concentration level, and it was something absolutely astronomical.
Yeah, the videos I've seen, people have dissolved as much as the water can take until it's a saturated solution of salt. So that's pretty high. Yeah, that won't do your fish any good. You've got to put it in a bucket. Really.
If my pH was looking yellow, is that high or is that low?
That's low. High would be extremely purple.
What kit are you using though?
NT Lab one. Yeah, I suppose it would differ depending on what kit you use. Because Si's saying, Gaz Seska's saying ammonia is nowhere near as toxic at low pH. It's likely the pH did it rather than the ammonia. Yeah. Oh, well, if you'd have seen how blue my ammonia was, you wouldn't be saying that. Because my ammonia was dark royal blue. Not the lowest one on the NT Labs is green, which has got skull and crossbones, and there's 2 green ones, but mine was beyond green, off the scale. Which I've got no idea how it got so bad so quick. Well, I do, but yeah, not like I've been. They didn't get fed up weekend and the weekend before and the weekend before because they weren't there.
End of the day, Gaz. That one wasn't a double-hard bastard.
Well,
it wasn't, mate. It wasn't. It let the Yorkshire side down.
Yeah, it was an imposter.
I mean, there's a few pluses to come from a negative.
Yeah.
I found out some information from it that I would have never known without having to do that or try that on a fish that's sedated, which is that's a plus. The other one is she was stuck and had been for the last 2 years and weren't growing no more. I've got a sneaky suspicion it may have been an Israeli. Don't know for definite, but I haven't got no definite concrete evidence, but I've got a sneaky suspicion she might have been an Israeli koi as opposed to a Japanese koi. I have got a new Japanese koi to go in, which will never replace it because I can't replace a gift from my son. But it does make up for it slightly. And then to top it off, I got another gift from Ricky when we went down to New Forest Koi at the weekend, which absolutely blows the socks off both my fish that I got from Momotaro. My God. And my old kayako that I've lost. So I have 2 to replace it with. One from Momotaro and one that one. He's a real man, that fish. That fish is. If anybody wants some beautiful fish, get yourself down to New Forest Koi. Because I'm telling you, that guy has got some fish, and I'll blow his trumpet for him, man.
He undersells himself every time.
That sounds wrong. But I will back his company and back his man. I couldn't tell the difference between Momotaro, other ones that he got in there, and but they Dainichi. Yeah, couldn't tell. His fish equally just as good. In fact, I would dare say that.
Oh yeah, you took me through, didn't I?
Yeah, showed me his fish and them fish all together. You could not tell a difference. In fact, I would say you could. I would say the Benny on his are even better.
Yeah,
that Benny on them fish, mate, is pop. It's unreal. New Forest Koi, man, wicked place, absolutely brilliant. And well, he's here when he gets here. But a massive thanks for the weekend, bud.
Yeah,
if you do get to watch a little bit of this back, it was brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Blown away, proper good laugh.
Yeah.
Keep your eye out for the video dropping tomorrow evening. Part 2 will be coming out tomorrow evening, and part 3, possibly part 4. I don't think I can push it that far, but part 3 will be dropping either Saturday or Sunday. I think I'll be dropping on Sunday. But New Forest Koi was wicked.
Yeah.
Vince, if I lived as close as you, mate, I'd never be away from that place.
Yeah.
It's just ponds. There's just ponds everywhere.
Somewhere.
Isn't there? You can set off for a wander and you think, off all this quad track, you get to the end of it, there's a massive, great big pond. And there's just koi after koi after koi everywhere. It's awesome.
I don't know how he keeps tabs on it all.
Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Great weekend. Like I said, tomorrow's video will be out 6:30 tomorrow evening. It will be dropped and it will be there for everybody else to watch the part 2 of us doing a little bit of fishing. And then after the little bit of fishing, well, it was more than fishing when it does. Yeah. Because Rick's not going to mind. I'm sure.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right, Rick got himself set up.
Something.
He caught himself the first one that he caught. He said, "Oh, it's just a roach," and out comes this stonking big roach like this. So I'm like, "God damn, that's not just a roach. That's like a 2.5 pound roach. I'm up for one of them. I'll be happy if I catch something like that. That's like 5 times bigger than any roach I've ever caught before. So I'm thinking, this is brilliant, man. This is wicked. So we set up there, we get all geared up, and everybody's there. We have a barbecue, a couple of beers. Yeah, we're all watching. We're all sat there, and all of a sudden I hear this. What's that? Yeah. I hear it again, proper loud. I mean, right in my ear hole. I'm thinking, what the hell's that? So I switch on this massive spotlight, that big kid. And I swear to God, that thing was like Blackpool illuminations. It lit up the whole lake, the sites and everything. And all of a sudden, I can see this, what could only be described as a sparrow flying around inside my frigging bivvy. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And I looked and said, that's a chuffing hornet. And they all goes, shut up, man. Hornets don't come out this time. And I says, well, tell this one here then. That's in my bivvy. That's flying around it. So I'll whack it out. And obviously, I'm not getting stung by that thing. It was as big as, it's arsehole like that. It was huge. So I did what any sane person would do. I put it out of its misery before I died before when it stung me. So we got that one. And Rick says, that's it, Gaz. You go ahead and kill one. Now all its mates will be over. And I laughingly joked and picked her up by its wings and launched it over towards Rick and said, that's why I've thrown it over by you. within 10 minutes of saying that, there were another one, then another one, then another one. And then Daz goes, oh, whoa, what's that? And he's in his
got one in the hood.
So he's got his hood up like that. And he picks up some plate of some sort, whacks this on it, smacks off my chest. I go, no, that's it, that's it, smack it straight towards me. Rick's killing himself, signing in 10. And then we got one more come round later on. So I went up to where we had fire, and put loads of wood on and smoked them all out, and then they all disappeared. They left us alone. Big, massive flames going. At one point, we thought we were going to have to move quad because it were licking handlebars on quad. This is going mad. And then we sat there.
You realise that they look up a pheromone when you kill them.
Yeah, well, that's what Rick said. That's why I threw it at Rick. As soon as he said that, I picked up and launched it over towards him. I thought, if that's true, it ain't coming near me. So got rid of it, threw it to Rick. And we all settled down for a night's fishing. Then these lot going, I just seen a shooting star. And I'm looking at my bivvy thinking, well, bivvy's behind me, so I can only see this part of it. And they're all looking this way. And I'm thinking, shut up, man. No shooting stars. And then they're going, oh, another one, and another one, and another one. And before I knew it, shower. Finally got to see one. So we watched the meteor shower. That was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And then calm settled. Everything went quiet. And we all went to bed. Well, some of us did.
Rick, the ones with common sense did.
Rick was fast on. I just nicely got my eyes shut, and then I hear this alarm. Beep, 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 beep. I thought, what the hell is that? To see Rick staggering out of his bed, no shoes on, he'd just thrown it down, grass is piss wet through. Rick stood there, and all 3 rods are going. I thought, oh my God, we're into one. But prior to us all getting attacked and watching all the shooting stars and having a few beers and what have you, Rick had decided to cast his baits out and cast one over this one over that one, and one over 3 of them. So all his lines were all intertangled. It took me about 35, 40 minutes to untangle his lines. And he said, he goes to me, Rick goes, you did a good job there. We got the fish in. You got a nice little mirror carp of about maybe 5, 6 pounds. So a nice fish, beautiful little pattern to it. And he says, you should get a job doing this, guys. Master untangler. And then next thing you know, he's sat on his bed, and next thing I can hear him snoring again. He's gone. So I'll go back to bed. That's it. Night done. Wake up after about an hour and a half skip. And beep, 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 beep. Rick's is going off again. I thought, God damn it, man. I sat awake nearly all night. Not eaten a single run, nothing. Have a breakfast. Rick does as a full breakfast, butties, bacon, sausage, you name it. So we're all enjoying a bit of breakfast. I sit down by my rod, and my rod goes, beep, 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 beep. I hit it, rod bends, I felt it, bump, straight off. And then a massive wave. You can see fish swimming off away from it. And Rick goes, that was a big one, guys. That was as good as a fishing, but it was honestly absolutely fantastic. I had a brilliant time. I would have put a little bit more of the fishing stuff into it, but it's not really about koi, is it? And we're all us just having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a relax and a bit of a kickback. But it were absolutely we're blown away, mate. It was absolutely belting weekend.
Brilliant.
Never caught a thing, but some of the most enjoyable fishing I've ever had.
Until I caught a Labrador.
Yeah, that one scared the shit out of me a bit. Well, it scared the shit out of both me and Rick as well. The Labradors are like vacuum cleaners. If you ever go and you'll see Rick's dogs, they are literally like.
Which one was it, Vader?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, the old one. The old one. It was the old one. Yeah, the old one. Right. So the old one's got a red ink bucket, and she's sniffing around, and she's tucking into a little bit of ground bait, and then she went to the next bucket, and then next thing you know, she stood outside of it, and she's trying to bath, and Rick goes, she swallowed some grass. Puts his hand in, take out the hook. It's not grass, it's a piece of line. And he looks down dog's mouth, and you can see all this red all over its mouth, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, man, dog's in a bad way. This is bad. And then we realised it was a fucking red boiler she'd eaten. So Rick managed to get the little hook out of dog's tongue, which was only just in. He weren't, where he didn't tug on it, he didn't pull on it, but he didn't want her to swallow it any further. He got the hook out, and next thing you know, she's up at barbecue nicking sausages. She didn't bother at all. We didn't give a shit. She just wanted to get the piece of line out. But she'd put her head inside a closed up bucket, which had a lid on it, and stole the boiler to eat the boiler. And it was a bit where the boiler was there that scared the crap out of me, because I thought the dog was bleeding like hell, and it was just all the chewed up red boiler. So
nice hair, Red Dog.
Yeah, good job. It was barbless.
Yeah, well, yeah. Talking of barbless, I was just baiting my line up and putting a new boiler on as Rick's bite alarm went off. And when his bite alarm went off, I panicked, turned and looked, and pulled the hook straight into my fingertip. I'm thinking, thank God these are barbless, man. It's like I'm pushing a hook out my finger. But we had a laugh, we had a scream, other than the dog incident. But Daz caught himself. Daz did catch. He actually caught a dogfish. That was Rick's little gag there. He put it on end at night. But it was wicked, wasn't it? We had a brilliant time. And awesome. His ponds, Vince. God damn.
Yeah. So simple, but so effective.
How much were those crashes, Vince?
35 quid.
35 quid. 30, I would say 35, probably being one of the smallest, if not more. Yeah. And 35 quid for fish like that. Beautiful Deutsch scale, with linear scales, nice zips on them. 35 quid. I was so mad at myself. Last time we went down there, I picked one up about that big. I could have just done them, but no. Maybe next time. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's absolutely unreal. Yeah.
We learned so much though, didn't we, Gaz, about the grading?
We did, mate. Yeah. Wait till you see the fish. Wait till you see the fish that are in this grading that we did on Friday night's video.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm telling you, nice. They are absolutely stunning. And
the new Forest Hornet fish.
The new Forest Hornets. Which is what we actually named them after we got attacked by them. But yeah, they were something else. I mean, I'm talking mint.
Which
Beautiful.
Ones were they?
Unique. You won't find anything like it anywhere else.
They're the Kingin Kiyotsura.
Yes.
Is that right? Kin Kiyotsura and Kingin Rin Kiyotsura, something like that.
Yeah. They got it all.
There was Deutsch and there was scaled.
Yeah.
So they're metallic and Ginrin Kiyotsuras. I think that's right. Yeah. Rick will refresh us, but wait till you see them, guys, because they
are outstanding.
Yeah. I'm going back down just to buy one.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
100%. That's how nice. I'll drive 6 hours and 6 hours back just to go pick one up. Oh my! I might actually get him to post me one. That might be a bit easier. I'll drive down to get one. They're that good. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, and congratulations, Will, to your daughter for her A-level results, mate. Belting news. Glad she got good results and you got to go. I'm guessing it's going to be at university next.
Ooh, congratulations.
David Cooks asked us a quick question. Sorry, I've been ranting and that. I didn't shut up, did I, for ages? Sorry. Guys, is a tempest and a backy shower okay filtration for a small pond? Depends how small.
Yeah. You got mechanical and biological there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the tempest are pretty damn good filters for taking out mechanical.
Yeah.
They do take a hell of a lot of shit.
It's just the price I can't justify.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Vince, if they were more like 80 quid mark, I think I'd probably have two of them.
Yeah.
I'd do what most people have done, double them up, like run through one, two, another one, whatever. But yeah, I do believe they do a good job. They do. But yeah, I mean, the more filtration, Dave, you can give yourself, the better. And then rather underdo it, overdo it. That way, then you won't going to be running into problems like I have.
Yeah.
Well, my pa's got
Fish,
two
small
small
pond,
ponds,
perfect.
and he's running both ponds on tempests.
Your dad did, didn't he?
Yeah, both ponds.
Does he have any biological on that, Vince, or is he just solely on the tempest?
He's just solely on the tempest, and all his parameters are doing well. Mind you, it is only a small body of water. It's a small body of water. So in that respect, it is overfiltering. And they've also got plants hanging around the edge as well. No, I wouldn't say it was a gimmick. It's a very good filter, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. But is it 280 quid's worth of good filter?
Yeah.
No.
280 quid, is that what they're at now?
Yeah. Yeah, 275. Yeah.
And that's even with the new shitty fucking ball valve that I've ended up taking off because it's just fucking. So I've got my lever valve on both of them now. So much fucking easier.
Yeah.
Well, you got there. It said High Volt says, mate, mine did that in the last few days. My head fell right off. Don't have a clue what's going on, to be honest. I think it's a combination of the perfect storm, mate. For myself, the amount of rain that we've had in Huddersfield over the last 2 weeks has been unreal. I've been going out and dropping 3 inches of water out of my pond, coming home the following day, and it been overflowing again. And that's no shit. It's literally retopped my pond up. Now, normally this time of year in summer, in the mini pond, because it's directly in front and it gets most of the sun throughout the full day, I have to go out and top it up every evening and put maybe 2 or 3 buckets of water in it. I haven't topped that pond up once yet this summer, not one. And it just overflows. When I come out, there's water overflowing out of it onto the floor, and the floor's soaking wet through. So it's done a hell of a lot of raining. Now, obviously, all this talk about acid rain and what have you, I know it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that combination of rain going in, that combination of my KH dropping off, my pH drop going to shit, and my ammonia spike has been what caused the results of what it is. And unfortunately, I lost that one. Pissed off is an understatement, but you learn from your mistakes now, don't you? So I will be making sure from now on in that I make sure that I've got a little reminder to make sure that I buffer up my KH weekly. And keep an eye on my KH coming out my tap to see if it's fluctuating or whether or not I get any highs or lows in it. And I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Big Rick says, sorry to hear that. I am and all, because you'd be surprised when you look in your pond and you look in, you think, where's all that orange and white gone? I noticed it big time with the Yamabuka. The yellow, the vibrant colour of yellow being gone, obviously. Now it took a while to get used to that. But now not seeing the red and white and the gin sparkle off that fish anymore. I stood there looking at it last night while I were on video chats for all this lot, and I'm so pissed off, man. And looking at the pond.
Because we lost that beautiful red and white colour, and she struggles to look in the pond at the moment because it just don't look right. Mind you, without that picture right either.
it looks like that all my fish now look like they're all dark colours, apart from my smaller ones, which are brighter colours. But you don't tend a shower and a Sankey just don't pop as much as that vibrant white and red of a Kaku. But
yeah,
happens, doesn't it? These things are sent to testers and trials as might they do.
yeah.
How does that little Deutsch one look up against that scaled one? Even though there's a size difference.
Mate, I'm telling you, I'm not. It's hands down better than anything I saw that I could have picked from. I won't say that I saw that I could have picked from at the Grown Show. Hands down, smashes it out of the park. And if I can get some size on that fish,
yeah,
it's that good. That fish is that good. Seriously, I'm thinking about taking it to a show next year if I can, if I dare. That's how good it is. I think that would do well. Maybe not well, but I think.
Oh,
I don't know. It's definitely 100%.
That one that I've got, that's definitely going to the show. The East.
You're going to do it?
Yeah.
Do it, Gaz. You've got nothing to lose with it, have you?
No. Secrets, does. Secrets. Oh yeah, that. I thought this is not good. Rick goes 4 fish in a bowl, and he says, "This is a thank you from me for coming down and helping us." And I'm like, "What? We're thanking you for letting us come. This was brilliant. We slowed you down."
I was genuinely overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was as well. And he goes, "Right, pick a ticket." 4 pieces of paper folded up, and I'm thinking, "Ooh, what's this about?" It's like a live draw. So you get a ticket, pick a ticket. Then he goes to me, he gives me the last one. I thought, bastard.
Did it have a penny on it?
Opened it out, and there's a number on the inside. I got a second pick. I'm like, yes! I knew what Daz were going to go for straight away. Biggest fish. I'm having that.
No, it wasn't.
And I thought, oh, God, that Kaku was coming on from me. I'd already seen it. I thought, man, that's stunning. And I never let on. I never said to anybody. My intentions were to actually buy a red Kajaku while I was down there. And when I saw that, I thought, nah, keep your red Kajaku, mate. That's going on with me if I got the choice. We all got to pick one, and we all got to come away with one. So it was wicked, man. Oh, yeah. Going away with it. And we all
don't forget your Gimrin Chiro.
We also got another free gift, and thank you very much, Vicky.
Yes, thanks, Vicky.
She felt she wanted to do something to say thank you for what we've done on a polytunnel and a koi, help of her start of a koi journey. So a massive thanks, Vicky, because she also bought me and bought Daz a Shurutsuru. So we now have a male and female, which are both cracking fish. They've got some, development to do, but they're both getting in as well, aren't they? So hopefully we can get a bit of size on them and get a bit of age to them and get a bit of quality to them, and then bang them in. Mine's going to go for a staycation for a short period of time, and we'll be involved in a breeding program. So that's the plan that we're going to get to see if we can sponsor those own.
You're pimping your fish out.
I am pimping your fish out. I does not know just how much it's going to cost him yet.
It's not your best one.
Good evening, Tony. How are you doing, bud?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Evening, Tony.
Hi. I had a bit of a shock.
Apologies, guys, for the waffling, because I have been doing a bit of waffling.
I had a bit of a shock first thing this morning. I made a mistake on my 2 aquariums. I didn't put any lids on them last night, and on the floor of the aquarium was the favourite fry when I went in there. It was a Deutsch or Chiba, but it was still it could only just happen before I went in because it was still breathing. It was still, the gills was moving, mouth was moving. Popped it straight back in, and it sort of swam on its side a bit and then bumped into the sides for a few times and whatnot, and then about an hour later it looks as right as rain, so I might be lucky.
That's good.
Well, good. I hope so, mate.
No fin damage.
Why is
no,
it always
the fins
your
are
best
fine,
fishing
but-
happens to?
I know, but anyway, they've got a lid on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more, honestly, mate, I'm more pissed off because it was a gift from my son. When my son enrolled at uni, obviously he got his grant and thought, it's my dad's birthday, I'm going to treat my dad, I'm going to get my dad something. And he picked it, and it was, I guess you could have really said that Brandon may have bought it for him to have in the pond, because he's equally as pissed off as what I am. But yeah, mate, that's why I'm upset more than out, because can't replace a gift like that. And it's my fault. It's just kicking balls. Sorry, as you were.
It's funny you say about your pH crashing those, Gaz, because I watched a video some time ago. There's a guy, oh God, what's his name? I think it's Ian Miles. I think he's the MD of Evolution. No, not Evolution. Evolve Filters. And on his channel, one of the early videos he done, he showed his pond with every fish in it dead due to a pH and no, no KH really. He lost all his KH, and that was due to him not checking the parameters where he lived before doing I think a PP treatment.
Yeah.
So that was it. The whole lot gone. And he was a really experienced, well, still is, he's still around, a really experienced guy.
Yeah.
So it can happen to any of us, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tony's echoing a bit there, Gaz.
Amanda Smith is saying, what's zeolite, please? Zeolite is a rock form product that you can put into pond water that absorbs ammonia. You can buy it at most pet aquatic places by the sackful, or you can buy it even for tropical fish tanks. In fact,
Yeah, they do it in different size grades as well. I've had the bigger size, which is about 20 mil. And they do the fine
zeolite.
stuff like you got, Gaz. The fine stuff's rubbish. It goes straight through the onion bag. You end up with half it.
Yeah, I know, but this is for tropical tanks. I actually have some, but it's only to go in the tropical filler. So it's a small little granular.
Yeah. But I've been sold that at koi dealers before. Yeah. So be careful what you buy. Get the bigger stuff.
Yeah, the bigger stuff comes like 2-inch crush and run. So it's like chunky kind of
like
stuff.
limestone.
Yeah, but that's basically zeolite. And when you've done with it, all you need to do is, if you put salt into your water till the water can't absorb any of the salt anymore, then add your zeolite into it. It recharges and you can use it again. So that's zeolite. That's what it does. It's an ammonia absorbing product which can be reused and reused and reused by recharging it again with salt.
Yeah, it's very handy. Very handy if you're moving fish, because you can put it in the tank with the fish.
Yeah, so if they're stressing and they're releasing a lot of ammonia, the ammonia is getting absorbed as it's in there.
Yeah, I've used it.
There you go.
I used it some years ago when I had a marine tank, but
yeah.
I tell you what, since all this has happened,
all answers there, most people are putting in there that there are loads of zeolite answers in there. Aaron's got a bit of something that we're going to be doing this evening. I'll let him. Over to you.
So I've asked Gaz to do a live draw for mine and Leo's 300 subscriber giveaway. I've closed the comments off now, so anyone that has subscribed and commented on that video is already in on the spinning wheel that Gaz has already got loaded up. Leo was meant to be here to go through with me, but he's decided to stay another night at Grandpa's house doing the pond, so I can't take it away from him. They've been solvent welding while I've been at work today. he's been filming him and Grandpa doing it, so I'm not going to drag him away from doing that to do a giveaway. So just me, I'm afraid. But Gaz is going to kindly do that for us, and then whoever wins, drop us an email, drop Gaz an email, we'll get it posted out to you.
Sweet, happy days. There's a little comment here that I've just seen there, and Coy Beginning says, "You're fishing all the time, Gary." Is that me or is that Gary Webb? Wait till next year. Ooh, are we going to let the cat out of the bag, or are we keeping it in the bag?
No, keep it in the bag, Gaz.
Keep it in the
Yeah.
bag.
I'll tell you why afterwards. Yeah.
Ooh. There's a future one. Look out this time next year.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Very good.
Very good, very nice. Very good, very nice. If you could do us a huge favour, guys, anybody that's got any questions, we do have some to go through this evening, as well as the giveaway to do for Aaron. I would like anybody out there that hasn't been on the show before to click that link at the top of the chat. You'll see it. It says there, if you would like to join us, follow the link. Click that link. Come on and join us this evening and pick us the Koi Appreciation fish for next week. We was going to have Sankey this week, but within minutes of the show finishing last week, I got notification after notification about, haven't we already done Sankey? Which we had way back at the beginning of this Koi season. I completely forgot. And it was Will who actually picked it last time. So it was Will like, I'm sure we've already done Sankey, didn't I pick it? And he was right, we have. So I would like somebody else to come in and pick. Sorry, I just got a personal message just come up on my phone and that made me giggle. We would like somebody to come in and pick this week's for next week's Koi Appreciation, if you wouldn't mind. So Sunday, that's not been on before. That's the terms and conditions are. That's not been on before. You don't have to be a YouTuber. You can be a member of public, but come on, pick a fish, and then let's have it. And by which, I'll come on if you fancy, Gaz. Which bit about that's not been on before did you not understand, Dave? If you come on, that means nobody else will be able to come on because we can only get 6 on at a time. So, but you are welcome to come on, mate, if you wish. I can always have somebody in the background, and when you come on,
yeah, I'll drop out if you want.
Right, we're all good. But we don't have a rush of people normally coming to click and pick. But you don't have to stay on. Just come on, tell us what fish you'd like, say hello, and leave if that's what you want to do. Or stay on and have a natter with us for the evening. Or for an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you choose. It's entirely up to yourselves. But if we don't get one, and we don't get a new member of public or YouTuber come on to pick a fish, there will be no Koi Appreciation next week. Till such time as somebody does come on and pick a fish that you want us to appreciate. There we go. That is the gauntlet I am setting down. We will get some new faces on this show. That's what we've done. Not wanting to get rid of anybody that's on the show. I just would like to get a few more people that are perhaps maybe a little bit, wouldn't normally do this kind of thing. Yeah. Just to liven it up a bit. Let's spice it up.
I could wear a disguise and come on again.
You could.
Go get your hat on, Tony.
How about a little red hat with a bobble on it? That'd be a cool disguise.
I didn't recognise it from it, Tony. It's the glasses.
Yeah.
Nobody would know.
Made a big difference.
Did anybody get that? Did everybody get that little? No, I don't
No,
know.
you're wishing that too soon. You're wishing that too soon, which is why I left it.
Come the December period, I shall be having Tony on regular. We might have to grow it a little bit. Keep it growing. Just give it a little bit longer. Perfect jumper that you're wearing this evening. Nice little red hat.
Gets a bit uncomfortable when it gets too long.
Oh, mate. In case anybody hasn't noticed, I tried to grow a little bit of a beard. And in 2 weeks, I looked at myself and thought, God damn, Gaz, you look homeless. Get rid of that shit. I can't do that. I can't grow a beard for life. It would drive me mad. I sat there night fishing like this. Oh, not to mention the fact that I actually brushed my face against some nettles as well, because outside of my bivvy when I went round to see if I could see shooting stars, I put my face straight against nettles, man. That annoyed the crap out of me all night. But,
There was a time when I only used to grow this in the winter, and then in the summer it had come off. My children thought they had two fathers. But yeah. Mind you, it used to be black back then. You know.
Yeah.
I grew it. I don't know. I grew
you never
it.
thought about a bit of beard dye? I can ask that question, Tony, because I'm nearly as grey as you, mate.
Red and green or something. But
grow some and put some of those Christmas beard baubles and stuff in them.
Yeah, I didn't have a beard for many years. When I was at work, I was always clean shaven at my last job, and anyway, I not long retired, so I couldn't be bothered with shaving for a little while, and I started growing it, and it was black and white. It was pepper. It looked terrible. But it's funny, in the 10 years I've been retired, it's just gone white now, completely white.
Yeah.
Pink. What about a bit of pink, Dave? I think Dave could, I think Tony could look quite fetching with a touch of pink in his beard. Right then, let's crack into our first comment. The first question that we've got is from Anthony Day. Here's one for you, and I'm going to go through you all individually on this one. If you could change anything for the hobby, what would it be and why? And I'll whack that one straight to Aaron. Yeah,
Koi tax.
Koi tax. That's what you'd change.
Yep. I'd make things that are massively overpriced just because it's in the koi community, like a blue plastic bowl that's 50 quid, right? That isn't £50 because you can buy a blue plastic bowl from Home Bargains for £3. I'd like to see the koi tax change.
So the next one. Let's go, Vince. What would you change? I don't know. As soon as I see you itching, that means you've got an answer. That means I'm hoping to stir you up a little bit by making one of these other people pick what your answer was.
Yeah. Git.
Go on, Vince. What would you change? The question
What would I change?
If you could change anything for the hobby, what would it be and why?
I'd change the fucking snobbery. I'd get rid of it.
God, he just stole mine.
See, that's it. Now you two more people got to think of two different answers.
Daz is rare in there. Look at him. He's like that.
And why?
Why? Because I don't think it's needed in the hobby. It shouldn't matter whether you spend £20,000 on a koi or 20 quid. At the end of the day, we're all in the same hobby, keeping the same fish, albeit the quality might be different. But hey, you know.
There's a good shit. I won't put that one up. Just no time. That's a good one. I won't put this one up, Chris. I won't put yours up yet, just in case it gives anybody else any ideas for their answer. Go on then, Daz.
Oh, I'm going to be last.
Yes.
Well, no, yours would be different to mine anyway. I would invent a cure for bacterial fucking issues.
That's a good. That's a pretty good shout.
Because that wrecked more pond keepers than anything.
Tony, does that now mean you have to find another answer again? You're going to think of something else now?
Well, I would simplify koi terminology.
Yes. Start talking English to the Japanese.
Yeah. And all my koi have got to be able to speak English.
You can see there's a definite confusion at the dinner table, can't you? When they're all like arguing amongst each other. The English koi versus the Polish, and it's all that confusion. They just all batter around each other, don't they? There's no. It's not civilized meal eating.
Sumi would be red. No, it won't. It'd be black. There you go. That's the trouble, isn't it? You see, I'm even colourblind with terminology. There you go. Sumi would be black.
It's all
Benny
right.
would be red.
It's all right.
Kuroji would be white, and so on. Yeah, simplified.
Yeah.
Dyslexic and colourblind don't really get the Sumi and the Soroji, and then not being able to see him as well.
I mean, to an extent, you can understand us following suit where, you know, we don't want to change the name of a Porsche because it came from Germany. It's Porsche or Porsche, whatever. We stick with everything where it come from. So why would we not really do the same with the terminology of koi or, you know, that type? I mean, I'm not just...
Okay.
Call it red, call it yellow. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, really, can't you? It is far easier for us to use our own. But for those people that are in Japan listening to us in the UK, talking about red and white fish, they're probably thinking, "What the hell are they talking about?" Talking their language, and then they know what we're talking about. It's just us that don't understand half of theirs. It's our ignorance, isn't it? Really.
It is, absolutely. We're an arrogant nation, not learning other tongues as much as we should, really. I agree with that.
When you think of it in that sense, it's like the majority of countries might speak 2 or 3 languages, as we speak one and expect everybody to understand us. We are a little bit that way.
We're quite arrogant that way. English is known throughout the world.
Yes.
What's that, Vince? You know the swear words in every language.
I bet he does too.
Yeah.
I can feel about that one.
Yeah.
Now, what would I change about the hobby? God damn. You've answered all the easiest ones, haven't you? You've all gone for the easiest ones.
You always save the best ones for you guys.
Yeah, I noticed. That's why I should answer first and then watch you all struggle.
I thought you would have banned pH.
Yeah, well.
Yes, make all water authorities have set regulated pH in the water.
Yeah, and KH.
About my hobby, I would like to change my wife's opinion on it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
I'd agree with that.
So I can get more fish in my pond without getting in doghouse. Or build a bigger pond without getting in doghouse. Or perhaps build my wife a pond that I can maintain 2 of.
I'm afraid that problem is universal, guys. We all have
exactly. It. See, there we go. Right. So we should be able to make a simple solution that we can give them to drink. They drink the solution, and all of a sudden they love koi just as much as we do.
I think there's a law against that kind of thing, Gaz.
There's going to be a reason why. There's going to be a reason why I'm whispering in my next upload as well.
Let you free, don't I? Right. Let's go on to the next one.
Whispering or talking in soprano.
How many of us here have CCTV on their pond?
Yes, I do.
I'm not saying I come around and nick all my fish.
Well, you should have done that and said, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, mine's no, but purely because I haven't got round to it yet.
So you're a no. Right, go on then, Vince. You have, Aaron has, I have. Why? Why do you have CCTV on your pond?
So you can
I can watch them when I'm not here.
That's exactly what I do too, mate. One, it is a little bit of security, I guess, but mine's so when I'm bored and I'm fed up sat in my van on my own at work, I can still appreciate the koi while I'm at work, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
But what would you do if one of them was struggling? Would you jump in the van and drive home?
I'd ring Brandon right quick and say, get your ass in back garden, mate, and do this. Fast.
Yeah.
And if we want home, I'd ring him and say, get your ass home right quick and do this. But it's always gives you the option, doesn't it? There's two reasons. One, obviously, I can appreciate and have a look at them, but I can also turn around and think, right, if there's something is wrong, in an hour, I can be home. Hopefully within that hour, I can do something should I need to do. But there's always normally someone at my home, which means somebody could always start doing stuff before I got back. So, yeah, I think they're definitely well worth having. And obviously,
people I can call.
you get that extra little bit where you got security on your house too. So, yeah.
Yep.
I've got an intruder alarm that rings my mobile. Do you know, every time that's gone off, I've always had a speeding ticket getting home. Guarantee it.
Or you could get yourself a box cat. Nothing will get past one of them.
And if you don't believe it, just ask Samuel Jackson, because
he
got him good.
It's a little white fluffy dog.
It knows how to bark, though.
Oh, she's got a bark.
She's got a bark. She can be a little bit switched on, does when she wants, can't she?
Yeah, nothing gets past her. Nothing.
She's got a little dog with a big dog syndrome.
Oh yeah, I've got one of them.
Yeah, a little princess.
This next one, I think. Let's see what you think. What's the difference between bacteria and virus in koi? Well, viruses are smaller than bacteria, and a virus can't breed on its own or multiply on its own, whereas bacteria can.
Koi pox is a virus.
Somebody's been looking that one up.
I did, mate, because I thought, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what is it?
Every day's a school day.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Viruses need a host, and bacteria doesn't.
That's why it's so difficult to get rid of.
Bacteria can also be in the water column, not just on the fish.
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go, Amanda. And I did Google it, obviously, because I had no idea. But I thought, that's a damn good question. I need to find out the answer to that. So I did.
Yeah. We should.
I'm glad you didn't ask that around the room like a previous question. Yeah. I was like that then.
It would have been all silence.
We knew that.
Especially for you. What's the difference between bacteria, virus, and viruses in koi?
Yeah, we knew that, Gav. Yeah. Yeah.
Now then, we have got something that hopefully I can share this, because I do think this is quite interesting as well. The other week we was talking about wrong switch. We was talking about pH rising and falling and all the rest of it. Now hopefully we should be able to see this chart. This is my pH, my device pH, and it shows that throughout the day how it fluctuates up and down.
Wow.
And we should have another one as well. I think it says a little bit of an information there. Might be interesting for some. I have a Senai on my pond, and it takes a reading every 30 minutes. I often hear people say my pH is stable and doesn't change based on a once a week drop test. But in reality, the pH changes throughout the day. See graphs below. This may explain the feeding behaviors. And I remember Vince talking about the skimming a couple of weeks ago, where we were saying about the skimming, how it seems to produce more on the night time. Well, this is.
Do those coincide with the feeds then?
I don't know. It didn't really give us that much more information, but my pond over 72 hours and a week period, the peak's highest pH is around 3 p.m. and the lowest around 3 a.m. So there you go. So the highs and the lows are PMs. Sorry, the highs are PMs and the lows are AMs, early hours of the morning. So look how it fluctuates throughout a day or throughout
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what mine was.
Well,
I
you can
know
say
what
that
it generally is
whatever it
when I
was,
test it, but I wouldn't know what it's like continual. Because
No.
you need one of those very expensive gadgets, don't you?
yeah. But whatever it is, it fluctuates in and out, up and down throughout the day, throughout the week.
With the amount that's
it's
fluctuating.
a stable pH because it's not stable, is it? Obviously.
With the amount that's fluctuating, though, would a dropper kit pick that up? Because that was between 8.2 and 8.5.
Yeah. So I would say it's not noticeable to the human eye with a colour chart test, but definitely noticeable to the graph.
That's why people are saying it's stable, because there's no difference when they're doing the test.
Oh. I'm sure that was Will for a second then.
As soon as you turn around, take it back out again. Good evening, Will. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. You're right. Just ordering shopping list. You know.
Oh, you're ordering some zeolite.
Zeolite. What else? You get out.
You need to get yourself a Senai.
Sack of PVD salt.
I don't need CCTV because I've got one of them.
Is you're going to pick next week's fish as well, Will?
No, well, I'd done the first one, didn't I? Remember, I'd done the first one with Sankey when I first met you all.
Yeah.
Many years ago. All them years ago.
Yeah, you could have just blagged it, Will. We would have forgot.
I know, but... No, I'm not going to...
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Misclick.
You know.
He's doing it on purpose, Will.
Oh, it's not.
Tony, your trees in the post, lad.
Oh, thank you, Will. Yeah, is it in the iron box?
It is.
Oh God, my wife.
So when it arrives, your wife's going to think, "What's it bought me?"
Nice
Cheeky
new iron.
Oh, yeah. You've been spoiling her, Tony.
Yeah, you might get a when she sees that you've picked up an iron and she thinks it's his anniversary next week. Talking of which, mine comes up on Monday. 24 years, me and my good lady wife. I'll be married next Monday. That's going to be a nice little meal out for us both.
Not long had mine. Mine was the
my curtain.
Oh, sorry. Mine curtains. I thought you were going to say that were kangaroo's testicles or something daft again from
no, that is all that's left of my curtains.
My anniversary is the 7th of August this year. 47 years.
Age.
Well, does it change throughout the seasons? Is it different dates? Is it not the same date every year?
Well, yeah, but it's not the same date as yours, is it?
You said that it was the 21st this year. I'm thinking so the 14th year before. Yeah, just mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hasn't Tony got the best birthday, 25th of December? Never going to forget that, are we?
What? My birthday? That's not then.
Here's my daughter.
What type of dog's that?
Oh, well done for your exam.
Oh,
is it Bichon Frise?
Yeah.
Oh.
600 quid to you.
Oh,
I already own a cock. I don't need any more dogs. A cock and bull, sorry.
Is it boy or girl?
He bit me because I was looking after the koi.
Bless.
But no, you know what? It's so what's the word? Caring for you, like they need proper caring.
Yeah, regular grooming and keeping up to the coast stuff.
Yeah, the eyes as well, getting tear stains and yeah.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't get them. We look after him.
Yeah, it's down to diet apparently.
Yeah,
I was going to blueberry facial every bloody 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he goes mental round the koi and so overprotective and that. And then when I had to go to the hospital and get freaking out again. Oh, yeah. But yeah.
Dad, did you just say your dog goes for a facial?
Yeah, blueberry facial. About 50 quid every fortnight.
It's official, dog. Official. Come next weekend, you're going to have to hand in that bank card.
Daz takes his dog for a facial.
Does it come to that?
Yeah, it's come to it, Daz.
Have I got to get rid of the dog?
No, he's got to get rid of your man card.
I never had one in the first place anyway.
Nah,
I think Estelle confiscated it years ago.
I think she did. Let's spin a wheel, eh? Let's get this gift.
Party started.
You're going to do a knockout, are we?
As you can see, I was typing while you were paying attention. That's why I was chatting so long, so none of you realised I were doing it.
Ooh, sneaky.
That's a straight copy and paste, but it works. So we've got everybody's name in there. We've got Koi Central, Will's Koi, myself, Andy's Koi Puddle, Mr. Tropical Koi, Rocket Boy, Kushti Koi, Del0909, Cabby 737, West Brom Koi, Keeping It Koi, Skeggy, Scrag 68, Telford Koi, John 2187, Koi Dream, Javier, Eddie Robinson, Joe Mama. There's some random names in here. Pinko, David Pioneer. We've got everybody's. I'm not going to read them all out. Can't be asked. So if you put your name in prior to Aaron closing the chat, you guys are going to be in this draw. Are we doing a knockout or are we doing a one spin wonder?
Knockout.
We'll go for a knockout. So here we go. Good luck to all those that entered. I didn't add you, Dino, because you. I did add you if you added yourself in there.
No,
I didn't add
Gaz
you
was told not to add anyone on this chat.
I
It was only the people that subscribe to the video.
Just so people can understand and know that this isn't giveaway from me. This is Aaron's live draw done from his channel. If you wanted to be in it, you had to have put in "I'm in" on his channel, and what's bollocks? What's bollocks? Well, them's the things between your legs, mate. That's what bollocks are. So we're going to click a spin because this is just me.
So they're bickering in the comments.
Let's see if we'd have done a straight hit, who would have won first?
Who would have been the one? Who would have been the lucky winner?
20 quid, it's me.
Well, it would have been
Scott Henderson.
But unfortunately, Coins and Hawks, not this time, mate. You've been removed.
I've been extremely lucky at this just lately.
Yeah,
You know?
you are.
I tell you what though, Gaz, while he's spinning this, with your misfortune that you've had this week, it's made me think quite a lot about testing the incoming water. I'm just looking at what while I've been testing the water of my pond, I was testing what I was putting
I am
back
still on, but my daughter's going for a walkabout. Okay.
It's no wonder everyone hates the English.
Girls are off out on the town.
Oh, Vince is out.
Wait.
Oh, Vince is
Oh,
gone.
Vin.
Oh dear.
Oh, lucky I'm a Humber Kai Cup. Had there been one more for your never-ending collection.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Actually, that said what? It's Dino, isn't it? Is it Dino? I agree with Dino. No, I don't know. Can't be. To come up with Dino, on it.
Oh, Will's out.
Oh, you've been removed, mate. Unlucky son. Sorry, bud.
Right,
So's Will.
I'm going for a shower while you're on.
Yeah. Plenty of time, mate.
I know, yeah, you'll be here for the next hour. Go ahead.
Still be here in the morning.
Unlucky, just.
Don't take your phone with you, Will. We don't really want to see that.
We've already seen it technically in Swim Bath. This might take some time, so chat amongst yourselves.
Yes.
That is a good point, Chris Taylor.
Derby Koi.
That is a good point.
Yeah. Chris, that was a statement, mate. That wasn't a question.
No, yeah.
That was what you put to the answer to somebody's thing, which was very good, though. It is right, mate, 100%. I would definitely change that if we could. It'd make life so much more easy.
Rob's got a question there.
Well.
For us all.
It was the question to. Oh, damn it!
What would you change?
Yeah, what would you change?
It would change. It would change.
Better medical expert.
Medical expert help.
Yeah. I just read that. We need fish vets.
Yes.
We should. Well, all we need is for somebody to come in and select it, Paul, and then we could.
Sure.
But they would have to join the chat and come in and select said fish.
Someone come and pick it, surely.
Becco, he said.
Rob and Chris Sweet has asked what the depth of all of our ponds is on the panel.
Oh.
What's the depth of all our ponds? Mine is very shallow, mate. It is 34 inches.
What's that in proper money? Meters and CMs?
It's not even a meter.
About 4 3/4 foot.
Well, one of mine's about 4 foot, up to my neck, just about there. And the top pond is 3'6", I think. And then the ones at the bottom of the garden, they're 3 foot. And
I'm out.
6. So yeah, 4 foot's the deepest.
So you asked me to tell you what 34 inches, and then you come to me with 3 foot, 4 foot, and everything else. So 3 foot, 36 inches. So mine's
just messing with you guys.
Oh.
Mine is bang on 1 meter.
What's that in inches?
But when we was going around Rick's ponds, you'd be surprised just how shallow those ponds are.
Yeah.
I know fish
I'll
went
tell you what
through.
I had. Dad, he bit quicker than a fish did on his rod that weekend.
You did what? Say again.
I said he bit quicker then than he did the fish on the rod the weekend.
It's
My
39 inch, Gaz.
39 inch.
My pond is 7'6" in the middle where the bottom drain is.
Wow.
Or 2 meters 250.
Yeah. You need a diving bell to get to the bottom of that.
I'll tell you what, there is drawbacks. It's nice
Yeah.
to have deep ponds, but there is drawbacks.
Yeah, you can't walk in.
People with shallower ponds get to see their fish a lot more.
That must be hard for maintenance and like even catching fish and stuff like that.
You have to drop the level every time, wouldn't you?
You're absolutely right. It is difficult. And the most difficult thing I've got on at the moment is my the cap has come off my bottom drain.
Oh, God. Sometimes that happens to people.
And now you're wishing it were 36 inches deep, aren't you?
I do. I bought a pair of waders. Dear. Wait.
What waders going to do, Tony, on 2 meters deep?
I'm
You
gonna
need a snorkel for the waders.
no. I'm gonna drop the water when the weather's a bit cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still have to get down to 2 inches, Tony. So I mean, unless you drop it to 2 inches, with the waders on or not, you're getting wet.
No.
Yeah,
I can reach down 3 foot or something, bent over.
How friggin' long are your arms?
3 foot.
3 foot.
Well, actually,
Actually,
it's much easier than that. I won't get wet at all because I'm going to send my son-in-law down there.
that's sensible.
Oh, damn it, man. To fix
Pipe
this.
in his mouth.
But I've got to let the weather get a bit cooler, I think, because they're going to be in much reduced water, so that means less oxygen. My filtration will all be off for that time, and then there's the fill-up time again.
Tony, can't you send him down with a breathing pipe? Just like a bit of pipe in his mouth.
Yeah.
Straight, brick round his waist.
Couple
Straight down.
of bricks round
Swimming
his neck.
goggles.
Unlucky Vic.
Yeah. It's a real
See,
nightmare.
the GKP's dead lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
All gone.
Aced it.
Still in.
I have had a few fish come up the bottom drain and get into the nexus, but you know where you put that slider thing in to stop the water going into the vortex bit. I had to make a perspex thing with holes in it so that it stops the fish going any further than that, so I can catch them.
I had one last year that managed to get past the pump and the impeller and ended up in the K1 box, filter box, and he lived there happily for about 3 months, unbeknown to me. Till I come to clean the K1 out at the end of the season, and bloody great fish was in there swimming around.
How big was it, Daz?
It was about 6 inches. Bigger than all the rest.
I've just been eating in the K1. How big did it get through an impeller?
They must be very lucky.
Sorry, I missed the conversation.
What, you just heard the 6 inches?
I just heard the 6 inches and then it was bigger than all the rest, which made me giggle.
Child.
I'm distracted.
I thought that was a Tina Turner song, Bigger Than All the Rest.
I think it's better than all the rest. Oh!
Well, it's simply the best.
We don't see Mr. Telford anymore much lately, unless you're in, just keep it really quiet.
Oh, unlucky Seska.
All right.
My dear Seska's got water in a pond now.
This could be Skeggy's lucky evening.
Oh no, you might just jinx him.
Oh God, how'd you tell that?
Oh God, how do you tell what?
This is not fixed at all, is it?
The line is between the two colours.
It's coy. This could be your lucky evening. If this does it again, I'm sorry. Oh, well. We give him a shuffle, last one, and then we just keep going.
Send it.
I'll send. No, Skeggy, no. I haven't seen a boom this evening. Chris Taylor says, hey, up, chaps, it's before 9 p.m. I think compared to some this evening, we've been rather tame.
Yes.
We were all boring as shit, aren't we, apparently?
We have been rather tame compared to some.
Are we?
Yes.
This
is water, not vodka.
Sorry, bud, you're out. Mr. T still in. Scragged it out.
Yes, it is.
Oh, down to the last 3, Mr. T.
Don't jinx it, Gaz.
No, fuck. We'll just go for it. No more shuffling.
No shuffle.
All right, place your bets.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
God damn it.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we have a winner. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Bobbles
Koi.
Bobbles Koi. That's a new one.
Bobbles Koi. Let's have a look.
There we go, mate. There's your winner.
Hey, let's hope
if you can do us a huge favour, either contact Aaron or contact myself by going to our About page and get the email address off of there. Drop us an email and I shall hook you up. Or if you contact Aaron direct, mate, we'll make sure they get cup out to you.
Thank you very much, Gaz, for that.
Hopefully in one piece.
Appreciated.
So there we go. That's that one. Let's bring that back up. The question that we had.
Okay.
Mr. Top Coy.
I'll attack you with a paper straw. Wash it.
Put that away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Does it look better?
Sally Harfield's just sent in a picture where Jamie Shepherd is watching my intro of Sonny and the Zoomies, whizzing through the garden. He's up to the screen watching him. Cool. Right, let's find the rest of these questions. We've got the next one. Elizabeth Ann. A new variety of koi called the golden corn koi. How long has the golden koi corn been out? Because she's saying that's a new variety. And it's not really that new, is it? It might be new to the States because I do believe she's from Virginia.
It must be at least 5 years old, if not longer.
It's been talked about quite a lot more over the last couple of years, but the actual variety itself was in production for 10 years before we even brought it out.
Which is pretty much standard for most varieties, isn't it? Yeah. Snow Asagi.
Would you
There's a
say
really
I'll find one? Golden corns, while you I'll bring one up as well so we can.
Yeah, there was a real big article about it in the Koi Talk magazine. And if memory serves, he spent 10 years producing it before we even let the cat out of the bag of what he was doing, sort of thing.
Yeah. I think some of that is so people don't try and replicate it and put them to the post.
Yeah,
so this is the golden corn varieties. There are 3 types of golden corn, and those be them.
All right.
So that's the Chagoi, Ginrin Asage, Seragoi light koi Asage, a Ginrin Asage light koi, a Benigoi, Karashigoi, Beni Karashigoi to a golden corn. So that's the family line blood tree. That's what produces it. There you go. That's the lineage. Golden
There's a lot
lineage.
into it.
Yeah. After 3 years, a generation of breeding the pairs, next generation of koi were produced, in particular the aspects and been aiming for a lightly yellow body color with a strong oh my god, Kaneko pattern.
Kaneko.
Yeah, there's a little video there as well.
That probably explains why they're so variable, because there's so many different parents go into them.
Yeah. Looks like something I get out of my flock spawnings.
Yeah. But
when you see them like this, though, at this age, they're not impressive, are they, really?
No.
I've seen quite a few look like that down at New Forest.
Yeah, me too.
But to me, if they all look like that, if they all look like that, I could get behind them, me, 100%.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no uniformity with them. They're random. You get an odd good one, but you get an awful lot of crap.
I suppose it's early days, isn't it?
Yeah, they're still, I think, quite unstable.
Basically, what you've got there is a Kaneko Asagi on like a yellowy orange background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd love to have a really good Kaneko Asagi because they look stunning.
Adam Byer's got some. These are very nice.
Where you've got red inside the scale instead of grey. So instead of a grey robin, the sandy, you've got the red across the bottom. You've got the white, and then instead of that grey robin across the top, you've actually got red robin. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
What
Chris
colour
is
is that?
saying that Dainichi has brought out a new one called the Bronze Samurai.
Yes, I have seen that. It's a beautiful fish.
What colour is that on the screen now?
Purple. It's corn colour, Aaron.
Yeah, like a yellowy ground colour
Yeah.
with sort of reddish centre to the scale.
Like a golden yellowy orange
Yeah.
with like red robin. You know, like when you get in a sadie, you get that greyness across the top. Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was trying to zoom in and see it, but
Oh,
What are these fake fish?
no, that's a bronze. Yeah, I get stuff. Trying to sell me one. So that's your Bronze Samurai. Come on, make it big. Yeah. Can't make it bigger. Hang about. Oh, we can. The power that be me. Piss off for your adverts.
Oh, yeah.
See, that just looks like a metallic achiever.
It does, a dark metallic Ginrin Achiever to me.
Yeah. Bronze Samurai?
Anything groundbreaking or new?
Yeah, I mean, I think
A rusty samurai, maybe.
I think that's half the thing, isn't it? But where they change them that much, these names, it's just really to
It's marketing.
market them in a different name branding and hope that they can get.
He's got white lips. That makes it different.
You'd never really see that in my pond.
You wouldn't, no. You wouldn't in most ponds.
Not at 2 meters down.
Let's go searchlight. Seriously.
But yeah, I do like them when they look like that. That looks nice. That does look something different.
Yeah, I'd have that. Nice and bright.
But the thing is, with the scales being highlighted, if there's any imperfections in the scalation, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no stability, though, is there?
Are we having a little bit of a tit for tat between ourselves, Dino and Mr. Webb?
I think Mr. Shears is in there as well. I think all three of them are at each other's throats. I have said play nice a couple of times.
Yeah, let's just for once, one Thursday evening. How about just for a bit of fucking originality? Let's just not. Yeah, let's just listen to us talk shit instead.
Yeah, but
on that matter, Vince, your microscope. I think he called shit.
Very good.
That was a good one. Daz, you're on fire there, that one, mate. We're straight in, Vince. Talking about talking shit.
So
As you were.
shit waffling.
Bastard, Vince. What I was going to say. Go on, Daz. Sorry, mate.
Vince has got a broken microscope and he's wondering if anyone can shed some light on the issue.
I've got one of these Bresser LCD microscopes. And
Sure, turn it on, Vince. I'll have to grab a drink.
When I turn the bloody thing on, all I get is a blue screen and it says system hold, press power key to shut down. So I shut it down and I start it back up again and I just keep getting this blue screen of doom. Anyone out there can tell me what the fuck is going on with it, or is it just a case of quick it in the bin?
Oh, don't put it in the bin.
I'm going to be pissed.
Well, you haven't had it long, have you?
No. Yeah, so if there's anyone out there who knows what the fuck's going on with it, please let me know.
Too much technology. Should have stuck with a simple microscope, Vince. Old school.
Simple as
I was
key.
stuck.
You and technology. You'd like me and technology.
I was struggling with the one
Bad.
We have Rick is in the house. Good evening, mate. How you diddling?
Feeding out.
Evening,
Nobody
you're right.
else can do it. Well,
Mr.
Feeding,
T.
5 minutes.
Estelle, are you feeding the you feeding the hamsters curtains?
Not even funny, guys. You just gotta take the patch back on.
You can always turn it up a bit, take 6 inch off and put a new hem on them.
It'd be better off buying a new pair.
Yeah. Hamsters dragged 6 inches of the flipping curtains into the cage and chopped a massive hole in. It was like something out of a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
I mean,
Straight hole in the curtains.
There is that other thing. You'd always just put the hamsters in the shed that you built for them.
It's even beyond Darren repairing it.
Set them free.
Yeah, set them
That's what I'm
free.
in
Wild
favour of.
hamsters.
Let them play with the cats. Develop the wild instinct.
All right, then.
Yeah,
We've got
I
a
can
couple.
see. How are we
So
doing,
there's
Rick?
no one out there that's broken a microscope same as Vince. It's got some special skill you got there, Vince.
Oh, yeah.
I got some crazy reverb going here, man. Hang on.
Is that Ricky?
That is Ricky.
I can hear him.
We can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear somebody's.
That's Estelle rustling bags of crisps in the background.
Free, Estelle. Come on.
I'm just getting my tea.
I thought we were sharing.
Told me.
Pardon?
So that told me.
I'm just getting my dinner because I've had to take my dog on a proper walk because Darren took her for 5 minutes and said it was 45.
How did you find out?
Willow told her.
Phoebe, you grasped me up again.
Willow told her. You told Willow to keep a secret, not me.
what's going on there? Hang on.
The dog's good, but she's not that good.
It's not live. You're on Discord. What you're on now?
Go on live.
Coming out.
Go
No,
away,
you're live, Phoebe. There's only about 4,000 people going to see it. You're all right. No problem.
Yeah, actually, I'm just saying it was when he's too zoomed
I was
in.
zoomed in. That's why I couldn't see anybody else.
Sorry,
I was looking at that bloody golden samurai, whatever it was.
Daz, if you're ever going to do a 15-minute walk, you have to walk to a pub, have a pan, and then it makes the 45 minutes.
I switched the tracker chip off as well, so she couldn't follow me.
Now, what you do is you just say, there's the lead. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
We've all got legs for walking dogs. Not just one of us. It's a family pet.
It is. It's not my dog.
No, a dog's not just for one person for Christmas. It's for the family for life.
Yeah.
Guys, call me all the snakes you fucking like. We don't want it on the fucking chat of our fucking show every fucking week. So if you don't like it, piss off and stop fucking watching.
What's that? What's this? What have I missed now? Oh, we're back.
No, but I've been called a snake because I've asked people to keep it fucking polite in the comments. I'm sick of it.
Come on, guys. I really don't want to ban people, but I'm quite happy to get rid of Perrier because at the end of the day, I've asked you several times and
Thank you.
I'll come at a good time, haven't I? Whee! I had YouTube open, mate. It was going on and on and on and on.
All right, so you got a double loop.
I had triple going on.
The only thing is, look, we're trying to build a community, and when we get people from the community together, all you do is stand there hurling rocks at each other. So what's the fucking point, right? Really? Why do we even bother to try? Try putting people together, and all you do is stand there and rip each other to bits. We're grown men and grown women. If you can't disagree and then just put it to bed, then there's something wrong, man. I personally, I left all that shit behind when I left school because I think it's rather immature that people can't just sit there and be civil. You don't like each other, you don't get along with each other. That's fine. I'm not asking people to get along with each other and to like each other. I'm just asking people to be civil. I don't, and I've said it before, I don't come and shit on your doorstep. Don't come and do it on mine. Last warning. For all those that get involved in it, week in, week out, I will just remove your ass because it's pointless having you in. If there's nothing constructive comes out of your mouth, then say nothing at all. Again, it's the second time in the second week that I've had to do the same thing and say the same thing. And I don't have to keep wanting to do it every week. It's pointless, man. If you don't enjoy the show for what it is and you only come to bicker with others, stop coming. Simple as that. It won't be no skin off my nose. All it does is just ruin it for those that are enjoying it and do want to partake and do enjoy having it. And I'm not saying I want anybody to go. I'm not saying that I want anybody to leave. And I'm not saying that I want you to participate. I do. I just don't want you fratching and bitching at each other so that I have to keep banning people because I shouldn't think as adults you need to be banned. You should be able to control yourselves. That said,
evening, Rick.
Let's move on.
Evening, Ricky.
I'm just checking.
Hi, Ricky. Blue screen on a.
Rick was like that looking for Goss then.
I was, yeah.
You can see his eyes going on the screen.
This is a question that will see what you all think on. Koi Dream, which is Budget Pond Keeper. My question, can you buy quality koi from your average fish stroke garden centre? Or can you only get quality fish from a breeder stroke farm?
Suppose it depends where the garden centre buys the fish from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is that.
That's what this is. Me and Daz were talking about this, and this is exactly what I said. Same thing. That's to insinuate that all garden centres just getting crap fish. Now, I would imagine that some may do, and I'm not saying that they do. I'm saying some may do. Some may get them in from top quality breeders. Some may direct import from Japan. Who knows? They've all got the capabilities of doing it if they've got a license to do so. So I would imagine it depends on the price of them, on where they've come from.
Yeah. The lineage.
I'd agree with that one, Chris. A lot of garden centres do Israeli, but a lot of garden centres might also sell some Polish. A lot of them might send English koi. I know my local place, they get them from a breeder that breeds them here in Huddersfield. He's done it and he's bred them for years and years and years. Now, I've got one or two of them in my pond. Yes, they're never going to be massive, big growers, but I think they're a nice looking fish. My little Becco is from my local garden centre. It's never going to grow massive. Excuse me. But I do believe it's a nice little fish.
And in every batch of
there you go.
Run of the mill fish, there's always a chance you're going to get one that slipped through the grading net. One of the good ones. Especially if we're grading them.
especially this last weekend.
From Ricky, nothing gets through him.
No. Stay tuned.
Japan. Yeah. I mean,
it's also variety as well. Variety makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a top quality kahaku as a 3 to 4 inch fish because they're not going to let them go. But you can get chagoi or asagi or you get certain stuff that will slip through the net or will blossom beyond all comprehension. So, yeah, bargains to be had.
Is New Forest like a sole dealer to any garden centres?
Do what?
Do you just supply sole fish to any garden centres, or anyone just completely repping you?
Don't really get that.
As in, is there a garden centre that just go, we only sell New Forest koi?
Generally not, because we can't supply all the sizes and varieties that people want. So if you're a garden centre and you're not is generally price orientated and what the customer wants. So if they want small cheap fish, then the garden centre will buy small cheap fish. If they want better quality fish or all sizes, yeah. So we struggle as a farm to produce enough fish of all the qualities and all the sizes and all the types to do our shop, let alone someone else's. So yeah, so there's people that buy stuff from us that we've got plenty of at a good price at a certain size, and then they'll buy stuff from somewhere else to fulfill a different part of the product range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does take a huge amount of space, water, time, doesn't it, Ricky, to produce the fish? People don't realise. It's only when you look at it, you think, oh my God, all them ponds. It
is. And the trouble is, if someone buys in Japanese stuff, they're buying from 600 Japanese, the potential of 600 Japanese farms, so they can get the size and the quality and the price range. And if none of them suit, they can go to Israel or Poland or ourselves or wherever to fulfill whatever size or quality or price range they want to a degree. That's,
Garden centres, though, what I've found, generally, if it's not a dealership within a garden centre, but the garden centre itself, there's never anybody there that can tell you where they've got their fish from.
No. Or don't know much about either the varieties, what they are.
Yeah, but that's just selling koi or gold. They sell goldfish, they sell koi. It's just
that's the two varieties.
Yeah, that's where you go to a specialised dealership if you want to know more about the history and the quality and what you're buying, and then you end up paying more for it.
Yeah.
But even
relative.
that chain dealer, if you like, Maidenhead Aquatics, they say in some of their branches that they're selling Japanese koi. You ask anybody in there what breeder that came from, they never know. They don't know.
But a lot of places like that will have a buyer, so they'll have a buyer for a lot of shops that come. So they might buy X amount of fish from Japan and fish from an English breed or somewhere to fill another market. The people in the shop actually probably don't know where those fish are coming from. They're told they're this amount of money. That's what they are. These are Jap ones, they're 200 quid. These are English ones at 4 inch, they're 50 quid, whatever. And they're just marketed as a product. The history of that product and the rest of it's not necessarily there. But you get other people that take an interest and will know where their stocks come from and about their stocks.
Yeah. The guys at World War Bracknell, they have koi from the UK, they have koi from Israel, and they have koi from their big bulk is from Japan. But on every single vat, it's actually labelled where that fish has come from, and it will say UK. It won't tell you where from in the UK, but it tells you UK, and it will tell you Israel, or if it's Japanese, it will literally tell you the Japanese breeder. But it's the only Maidenhead Aquatics that I've found that they are still up front with where their fish have come from.
They've probably got a manager that's interested. A lot of these chain stores have not got managers that's particularly interested. They don't carry it through.
But does it matter if the fish is healthy and happy and good quality? Does it matter where it's come from? That's what you said.
Honestly, it doesn't, does it? I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. And that's been the bit that Vince was talking about earlier on, is the snobbery side of it.
Yeah.
A fish is a fish. They're all the same descendants of the same original bloodline that originally started it all off. So, I mean, technically, yes, they're all refined and selected and better quality ones than others. But if you like it, what difference does it make?
People have it in the head that if it's Japanese, then it's going to reach 100 cm. And if it's Israeli or any other thing, it's no good. It's only going to reach 30 cm or 40 cm, and that'll be it.
Japan don't do big fish generally, so that's already a misconception. Nagata is known for the homeland of koi is known for pretty fish that don't grow massive. So all this big stuff only comes from southern Japan, and it progressed into some of the breeders around Nagata, but it was never a thing. It's all to do with quality over size or whatever. So it does. Anything comes with a tag. You buy a pair of trainers, if it's a good brand, you'll pay twice as much as you will for a not so well known brand.
Yeah, the material's the same.
Might be mainly same factory in China.
It all depends on your brand name and how much you've pushed yourself and marketed yourself and spread yourself around the world to whether or not people continue to buy your products that you're pushing out that hard. Really, run at mill, same as everything else. Brands.
I agree with the healthy thing. If it's a nice, healthy fish, what's it matter? I agree with that. But what I don't like the idea of is if it's trying to be passed off as something it isn't.
Yeah, that's a different. That's just lying, isn't it? That's just saying.
Yeah,
this fish is from a top breeder in Japan when it's come from somewhere else. It's like trying to sell your Fiesta as a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Some people might know the difference, but some people wouldn't.
Oh, the thing is, we wouldn't know the difference if it came from you, Ricky, would we? They're just as good as the Japanese.
But no, some of them. But that's the point, You've got to trust the dealer. That fish is the age, from the place, from that fish is going to do what it says on the tin, it's not be any good, and that's just part and parcel. You and unfortunately you end up to buy from a dealer that knows his stock, that knows his information. You will end up paying more for those fish because that person has put all the time and effort into those fish, rather than all the other stuff they do, and the fish are just something we sell, and that's just, it's the same as any other, whether it's a plant, whether it's a fish, whether it's a dog you're going to buy or a car or whatever. The knowledge of the dealer, if they're trustworthy, is important.
Yeah.
So there we go. Right, Lilac Moo has asked a question which I did have up earlier on, but I've moved on to the other one and I apologise. Hi guys, we didn't get a chance to talk about salt with the kick of why people are against it. What do you guys think about it? And that's the use of salt in your ponds. I ain't got any problem with using salt in my pond, and do. So
it's a good. Salt is one of those. It's a treatment at the right dose, and it should be used as a treatment, basically. So you use it for a reason. You shouldn't just have salt in your pond for no reason, because they're freshwater fish. They don't need. But if you're trying to take young fish through their first winter, if you've got fish that have got a bacterial problem or a problem with sleeping sickness, then salt is absolutely key to nursing those fish through certain situations. But
what do you think about using it for introducing a fish into a new quarantine system to help de-stress it?
It won't de-stress it. In fact, it will increase the stress level on the fish. But it will. What it does is it takes away some of the energy that a koi uses. A koi basically is saltier than the water. So basically, it uses its kidneys, do a lot of work through osmoregulation to make sure that it's in balance. And it obviously always absorbs water and acid. So by adding the salt to 0.6%, you're balancing the water and the fish up. So you're taking some of the energy it uses to do that, and then it can use that energy in its immune system. It can use that energy for other things. But the reality is that's a shortish term situation, be it 2 months, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. It's not a permanent thing. You don't need salt in your pond permanently. But if you're putting new fish into a quarantine, salt's not a bad idea. It's just going to help settle them in, give them that boost. But it's not a de-stressor. If anything, like I say, it will cause stress on the fish because they're not saltwater fish. It will give them the energy they need to fight an issue if it's there or going to crop up. And with for young fish, certainly getting young fish through their first winter is invaluable. You can't, certainly with Kahaku, Sankey, Showa, if you try and put them through a cold winter, their first time they've experienced cold water, you're in a world of trouble. salt will help them get through their first winter. Period. It won't alleviate all your problems by any means, but it will help. That's why it's used across the world, in certain situations.
Yeah. I must admit, I did tankies last year and I got a tank full of smaller ones. I was probably losing, there was a fair few in there, but I was losing 1 or 2 a week just for no reason. And I wonder if that was cold. It seemed to be worse when it got really cold.
They do. Young koi, if you imagine a koi is produced at 18, 20 degrees as an egg and lives at that temperature right the way through to the first winter, and suddenly temperature plummets, and the stresses that causes, those temperature stresses, then leave them open to all the parasitic problems. It just so you've got to try and nurse them through and strengthen them up, and by giving them that extra period of it's just giving them that time for their immune system to catch up, then you find that your losses can go from 60% to 20%, or it makes a massive difference depending on what's occurring with the fish. And again, sleeping sickness is another massive one. You raise the temperature and add salt, you can have 0 losses, and yet if you don't do anything to leave them cold, you can have 80-90% losses. It's huge. So, but once those fish have experienced it and gone through it, it just toughened up.
What level would you take those to, those young fish? Would you walk 0.3 or higher?
0.6 is the standard. That equalises the fish in the water, so they're not having to, absorb water and express the water. So if a fish has, if you've got bigger fish that got a problem with ulcers, it's the same. It's the same level, 0.6%, and that just balances them. Because a big hole in a fish, basically, it's just the water's just pouring into that fish because the fish is salty and it's just trying to balance things up. So the fish is having to constantly, its kidneys are working overtime, kicking all that water back out. So by balancing it, you stop that happening, and the fish has got more energy to use to mend it, basically.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Thanks, Ricky.
Just a bit to get out the system afterwards, though.
Oh, you froze, Vince. Say again, mate.
I said it's a bitch to get out of the system, though, afterwards.
Yeah.
Depends how big the pond is.
But if you've got them in a small tank, it's not so bad, I suppose.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it can be if a big volume of water takes some reducing, doesn't it? Water change after water change to get rid of it.
Because salt doesn't dilute like ammonia does or nitrite does.
There's salt's there, though, isn't it? That's the problem, and it's not going to go anywhere. So if you lose X amount of water through evaporation, your concentration of salt's actually going to go up. And if you just top up the pond, it's only ever going to stay the same. So unless you actually water change it out,
that's the only way you get rid of it. Yeah,
that's why I couldn't grow any chilies in my munga tank, because I salted them up in the autumn, and yet by the time we come through to this spring, the salt's still too high for the chili plants.
I killed them all off. Well, so the red hot chili peppers were no more this year.
We have got loads. It's fine, but not in that one. Not in that setup.
Freaking Rod's red hot in that polytunnel, though, man. When it was boiling in there, walking in there, you were sweating and wet through. You didn't even have to get in water. Will's Coy said, "Should they all come with a certificate if you buy them from a dealer?"
No,
I don't agree. I mean, what's a certificate? It's just a piece of paper that tells you this fish might be the one we're telling you that we're selling you.
More marketing, isn't it?
It's just generic again, isn't it? The generic certificate's produced with a picture of a fish stuck to it.
Well, a lot of
them thousands of certificates.
But not even a photo at all in some cases. You just print your own.
Some boxes that when dealers send them, it's a certificate for the whole box, don't they?
Yeah.
Not just individual fish.
You're supposed
if you buy an expensive individual fish, you'll get an individual certificate for that fish. But imagine how much it costs to certificate every single fish that Rick sends out. Never mind, some
don't go there.
Well, it'd be crazy numbers, mate, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely nuts.
It'd be more than your food bill.
It probably
And
would.
that's
End
what-
I mean, the certification is something that if you're buying a specific individual fish from, you're paying decent money from a specific breeder, and it's promised to be from certain parents, so you know the genetic potential of the fish, and see, inevitably, if you're going to certificate it, you're talking a fish that's a decent wedge anyway, because it's something that the breeder's looking at, thinking, well, yeah, it's worth making a record of this. We know the parents, we know the fish. It's something. Yes, for the top end, I've got no problem with it, but it's gone bonkers, and I don't think you should certificate, a variety that you can't do photos of because they all look the same. So at the end of the day, it's a bit. It takes the value away from the certificates that you get for the proper fish. So if everyone's got a certificate, it just becomes a bit of a nonsense. But to be able to verify that that particular fish you're buying is from this parent set and it was born on this date at this year, it is for some hobbyists. That's really invaluable, isn't it? You've got something to aim for. You're buying that fish with the hope that it's gonna, go that way, and you've got knowledge of it, and that's fine, and I've got no issue with that. We'd do it if we. To be fair, everything we sell, bigger or individual, is on the internet. It's there. When it was born, we could find the parents. We could. So it's not certificate, but it's still that chain of knowledge or whatever you want to call it is there if you want it, and we can supply that. But stuff coming in from Japan.
About doing a certificate for the Mark Gardner fish.
Not really, because it was they've been done as just a continuation of his sort of breeding. And it's already gone messy because we're now mixing them with some of our own fish, and next year we'll be using some of the offspring. So the only way we'd certificate something is if it's a particular parent set that is special, really super duper. These are, but to be honest, for what we charge for the fish, by the time we certificated it, put it in a box and whatever, that cost more than half the fish we're selling. In reality,
I'm sorry.
It almost sounds like that,
criminal, as in they are criminally low.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can only charge what you can charge for fish. You've got to sell them. So we could put fish on for 3 times more money, but if they sit in the shop for the year and don't sell, they've now lost a year's growth, and their value's no longer what it was.
Yeah.
And you're feeding them for another year.
But they're not going to grow. The problem is, as soon as those fish are sat in an environment to be sold, they're no longer growing at the rate you want them to be growing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So you've already losing. If you're selling a jumbo tozai now at 30 centimeters, it's pretty much finished its second year of growing. So actually now it's a very small D size. You're not buying a top end product. You're buying almost a low end product. Because that fish has lost one of its massive windows. It should be.
It's basically treading water, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's still being shot for 12 months.
You'll get X amount of that back in the right place, but every few months you lose, it's harder and harder to regain that. So I would never say never on certain stuff, but if we would ever do something that we're selling, these are our best tozai, there would be fish that would be continue to be grown somewhere. If that makes sense. So these are available, but they're not viewing in the shop because these are still performing a centimetre a week wherever they are, to be collected at X point or whatever. Because as soon as you put fish into a sales environment, they're on hold. They're on
conducive to growth, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not going to grow at that point. They are literally just being fed, ready to be packed and shipped. And if that fish, if you price it too high, can be sat there for 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
Depends on, it's it's quite a tricky one, and yeah.
If you sell them at a reasonable price and you keep pushing them out the door and you keep dropping them out the door every week in, week out, then eventually you're making the money that you would have been losing to keep it in shop for 12 months.
Yeah, it's
push out the numbers at a reasonable price and make your profit, as opposed to pushing them out at a high price, not selling them and losing profit.
Yeah, but as a farm, we have to do that. If you're a smaller dealership where those fish are in lower stock levels, potentially you can charge a higher price, but keep them developing.
Yeah,
to do it. But
when you've got so many coming through the line and stages to take their place, you need them to move.
Yeah, you've got to move them through, haven't
you? As a farm, we have to turn as soon as they stop along the line. They go into sort of stasis, and then you bottleneck. You've got spaces more important. There's no point sticking 100 fish in a tank. So they're £1,000 each, not selling them, and then they stop being the size they should be for their age. Some go backwards, a couple jump out. Before you know it, you're not going anywhere. So it is a balance and act. It is a fine line, and the best fish in the right environment will continue to improve. But there's not many shops that their sales tanks are the best environment for those fish.
Yeah,
a sales tank is a sales tank. A growing pond is a growing pond, and they're slightly different beasts.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm going to get off, guys.
All right, mate.
Thanks very much for having me on, and thanks for doing the giveaway.
My pleasure, mate.
All right. Give someone else to come on and pick a.
Yeah, we need somebody to come on. Need somebody to come on and join us this evening to pick a koi for next week's koi appreciation. Cheers for joining us, Aaron. Nice one, bud.
Thanks for having me. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Gavin's asked a question. Is there a lesser-known Japanese breeder worth looking for and buying off?
Probably loads of them. Loads of them.
But if it's to me, if they're lesser known, are they any good? If they were good, wouldn't they be known?
There's some fantastic breeders out there that are small. You get a lot of the breeders that work under the big breeders, then go off on their own. So Sakai Company, for example, he's got access to the brood stock. He's related to them, but he's doing his own. He's gone off and doing his own stuff. So if you wanted top quality Sankey that they're not cheap, but they're slightly cheaper than Sakai from Hiroshima, but they're very tightly related. And so, yeah, you get, there's hundreds of breeders out there, and some of them will go down a path different to, so they might decide, actually, I really like Deutsch Kahaku, and they'll start breeding really good little Deutsch Kahaku that no one else is producing. And they might be lesser known now, and in 5 years, they might be well known.
Yeah.
So when you go to Nagata or whatever, honestly, it's like hundreds of me out there doing different things, and some are amazing, some aren't. But they're all following a path that they're trying to create. Be it pretty little fish, be it massive jumbo fish, be it the best Deutsch fish, the best Ginrin. They're all going down different routes.
All on their own journey.
Yeah, so and if you go out there and see them all, you depending on what you're looking for, there's a breeder to suit everyone. The 10 big breeders that perhaps people talk about, yes, they're massive farms that produce amazing koi, but there's hundreds of breeders that are doing different stuff. If in this country you're struggling, you've either got to go out there or know somebody, an agent or a dealer out there that visits all these different farms, and it depends. Exactly.
Have you been, Rick? Have you been a few times? Have you?
No, only a couple of times, and years ago, to be fair. And it's an amazing experience, but I don't need to. I'd like to go now, but I can't justify it if I'm not spending the money to buy stuff at the minute because we don't sell it. So it's one of those.
Let's say, for example, if you wanted to go out there and get some brood stock and you were going to go into a new line, then maybe you might do again in the future. But right now, at present, with what you got, you're happy with what you're working with.
I wouldn't say I'm happy with what I got working with. Budget restricted to what I've got. Yeah, I'd go back out there in a heartbeat. So,
Tim, if you're listening, the GKP and Rick were more than happy to go out there and find you some new stuff, should you want it.
Cover the cost, mate, and we're on. It's like anything. At the end of the day, if you're after a certain variety or something different or whatever, you're not going to go out and find a Sankey or a Kahaku breeder that's better than Sakai or Dainichi.
Yeah.
You're just not. But if you want to go out there and find, a Deutsch Ochuba breeder or something, you travel around these different farms and they've all got their sort of money-making fish that they do year in, year out, but they're also all experimenting for new stuff, for new varieties, or for different.
To experience it, man. Love to see that. Love to see what they're doing over there. One of these days, I'll get my butt out there.
But the problem is you need to justify the costs of the £1,000 flight and X amount of money on it. You want to be spending $4 or $5 realistically to sort of justify it. And if you haven't got the room and you're only going out there to buy one fish, you're going to pay top dollar for it. It's lovely, yeah, but to really experience all the farms, and you're really only going out there visiting, you're not going to spend anything. That's the problem, isn't it? So some places will have a minimum budget. If you're going, because you can't just go and visit these farms. You're on one holiday, I'm going to go and visit them because the breeders they're not going to spend their time with you. So you have to go with an agent, and you have to go with some money, really, because you can't be. They're not going to just take you and not spend anything. Otherwise, it'll just be Koi tourism. Oh, look at that one. I'd love that one. Can you bowl that one for me? It's a 10 grand. I'm not going to buy it.
But it'll look good on camera. You're not going to get them paying you the attention that you would do if you were going there as a buyer, as a breeder.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get to access to the farms unless you're going with an agent and a dealer. And if you're going with an agent and dealer, you really need to be, going with X amount of money. How different people set it up differently. But at the end of the day, it's one of those. I recommend everyone to go out there, but if you set your new pond up and you're going out to buy a few, go with someone that is buying fish and you can go as a tag along +1. That's what you need to do.
There you go, mate. Rick, Teresa said, Ricky, you have some banging fish on it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, Will.
Hi there,
Yeah.
Vince, as well, mate.
So, Gaz. Hello?
He was in bed 20 minutes ago.
Went for a shower. Gaz, so do you know I picked the very first Sankey, the Koi appreciation?
Do you want to pick another one, seeing as nobody else has come on?
Yeah. So, I'm not... Don't shoot me. I'm not sure what it's called. I think I sent you it, and you have to give me the name. Because I got them... Sorry, Rick. I got them from Adam Boy.
I could have lied to you, mate.
No.
Is it Akamatsuba?
Which?
Akamatsuba.
Yeah, that one.
There we go, then.
Is that all right?
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Ladies and gents, next week, if you can all send us in your pictures of Akamatsuba's, that is going to be the fish of the choice next week. And that's a good fish, but unfortunately, I don't have one.
I've got one. It's not a good one, but you've got one.
You've got a few, to be fair. You have got a few little ones in this year.
I've got a few little ones, yeah. I've got one decent big one, but the little ones, they look a bit grubby, a bit... got shimmies. They seem to struggle with shimmies a lot.
A 70-centimetre one that's going over to a new home on Saturday.
Oh, that's a shame, Vince. You just missed that.
are we going to say all types of Matsuba then?
Can you put it
Because
on?
I think Akamatsuba. Say, can we?
Guys, can you put one on the? Because
Yeah.
I hope it's the one that I've got.
I'm going to have to go out and buy one.
No,
Yeah, get yourself down to New Forest. One of each colour.
Yeah, Ricky, can you send me one of each colour in the post?
Silver and yellow, mate. I haven't got any Akamatsuba. Well, yeah, I might have.
Just painting one, Ricky. We'll never know.
I will.
I want to look at this fish and go, no, it's not like that.
Is it scaled like?
One of them Goshkis that's all orange. That looks like a Akamatsuba.
Yes, I've got it. Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, that's nice.
There's some good ones. There we are. Look.
Oh, we could just go Matsuba. Oh, we could, yeah. That one's quite similar to yours.
Yeah, remember?
Or we could
that's
just
a good
go
pick, that, isn't it?
You get a cherry red as well, don't you, I think?
They're nice, the cherry reds.
How broad are we making this? Just so I know. And don't send the wrong thing.
I don't think it really matters because you go down your own route with it anyway. Matsuba. Let's go Matsuba. Any form of Matsuba. That way then we can have.
But bigger than 2 inch.
All right then.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 inches now.
Are you scraped in then?
No, that's a good pick, that.
Because you've got one. Those are all your types of Akamatsubas that you can have. Or Matsubas.
What about Deutsch ones?
No, not Deutsch. Oh, mine might be a Deutsch. What's that mean, Deutsch?
Scaleless.
Or big scales.
No, mine's got scales.
Big scales. Aragoki ones would be cool.
Scales.
Yeah.
So there you go. Akamatsubas or Matsubas for next week's.
Bloody hell. Climbing the fish tank.
Have you got one, Vince?
Right.
He has, yeah. I don't.
I don't
have to chase a fish round pond, which is wicked.
But Tony hasn't got one, has he?
No.
But I can guarantee you, knowing Tony, he will have one by next Thursday.
So I've got another idea, you know, if it's all right, or if you want to chat again.
Yeah.
I am going to bring this up just for him. Budget Pond Keeper, he has sent me a little bit of a message. He is trying to move on 4 koi. So if there's anybody that is interested, pop along to Budget Pond Keeper's channel. He did put him in a little video of his other week, and he's asked me if I'd give it a mention for him. So there you go, Bud. A little bit of a mention. If anybody's interested, he is trying to move some fish on. So
are they Akamatsuba?
The Akamatsuba. He's trying to move them on because I think they're a bit too big for his pond. So sizing them out. Has anybody else got any more questions they would like to ask the panel this evening? Because that is
I've got
the last of what we've got.
Not a question, but an idea. So I've seen this lad, you know that lad James the Koi Whisperer.
Oh God.
Right. So I've seen him do this years ago.
Oh, right.
And he went, no, you send a video to someone and then they pass it on to the. What are you laughing at, Rick? You send a video to someone and then you put me through one on old phone. So you send a video.
You send a video. Go on.
So you said. So let's say I started. So I go. I'm sending. This is on Will. Blah blah blah. This is me pond. And pass. So you do a little spiel about your own thing. No, it's probably a shit idea, this, isn't it? And then you say, I'm passing my phone to, and then you do something funny. Say like, I'd say, I'm passing my phone to Santa. Then Tony would come up.
Right.
No offense.
What would I have to
Tony
do?
does his bit and he passes it on. So what you want it to do is sort of like a word association. Keep moving it on from one person to another person by a little clip video.
Oh, he's doing a whisperer now. Drinking on live.
Little.
Yeah.
Don't you think that'd be good?
Yeah.
I think that'd
But
be well.
that would mean that everybody would have to have everybody as a contact, which is really difficult. But we could sort some out and then put it all together into a little video and play it through on Next Live.
Yeah, that would be better. That you know.
Right. Well, we'll see what we can do then, and we'll start getting some videos sent forward to people. And you can add your bit on.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing it
He's
now.
going,
Look.
he's going to the fridge, isn't he? Rick's going to the fridge.
Going to the toilet. You coming with me?
Well, he nearly went with Will to the shower.
Let's have a quick flick down for you. Amanda Smith says, got 40 toes this year. It's better to winter them or keep them heated to 22 degrees. Is it better to winter them or keep it heated at 22 degrees?
I like to put my photo on in the winter.
Ain't
I
got a
would,
clue,
well,
mate.
if you can afford to keep them at 22 degrees. Keep them at 22 degrees.
Keep them at 22 degrees forever.
Yeah.
Not forever, but next summer
Forever.
it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what sort of quality and what varieties they are would make a difference. Yeah.
I would tend to just let the temperature slowly go down to about 15 and hold it at that, or 10 perhaps, because it's costly, isn't it?
It is, but if they're 40 tosa that are £400 each and top level Showa Kahaku Sanki, then you keep them warm. If they're 40 tosa that are 2 inch and £1 each, then you got to balance it up.
Yeah.
And see where they are.
I mean, it's definitely better to keep them at least
I'll leave
partially
it there.
heated and not let them go down to the lowest temperatures of winter, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to go down too cold, but you also, yeah.
Carlos is asking, Will, is that just for YouTubers? No, mate. Let's make it fun. Let's make it a community thing. Why the hell not?
Yeah, there's too much fucking actually. Too much aggro on here. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? It's been fun, isn't it?
Okay, that's exactly. I know there was a little bit of tis was in back and forth, man. But at the end of the day, I'd much rather just, if anybody can forget what happened and move on. If I can move on from what happened, every fucker should be able to move on from what happened. So if I can do it, what the hell is stopping everybody else?
I'm glowing.
I got more crap than anybody with all that shit.
Have I missed something? What happened then?
Well, I went for a shower and then fucking all kicked off.
It's one person says something, one person takes it a different way. Somebody else says something, they take it that way. And the worst thing about typing and writing in a chat is people can type something and not necessarily mean it how it's read.
Yeah, that can happen in text.
That's not me defending anybody or saying that perhaps maybe, oh, he said this, she said this, she said crap. People do genuinely take stuff in the wrong manner when it's wrote out in text because they read it how they want it to sound in their head. Not necessarily mean or meant to always be as an insult. Sometimes it could just be banter that somebody takes the wrong way, but it always seems to spill out. And it always seems to spill out in my channel when we're doing a live. Now, I'd just rather people left the drama at home. And when they come in here, think this is a community where we all sit and have a chat and have a natter. So that's...
And learn.
Well, yeah, honestly, mate, I'm learning every week. So...
Yeah.
Well, we just found out what we freaking fish is called.
But yeah, there we go. So I would say, Carlos, no, let's not. It doesn't have to be for YouTubers. Let's have a laugh.
Oh no, it's got to be fun, not dead serious.
the community is not about YouTubers as far as I'm concerned. Without you guys, and I know there's YouTubers in here as well, but without the people that come to watch us YouTubers, we ain't got a community. We haven't got anybody to watch his content. So if you don't include your community as being everybody as a unit, what's the point?
Yeah, bang on, bang on. Look at that. Earlier this week, I'm not being frankly coy, sent me a frigging Microsoft.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Freaking out. What the hell?
You were speechless, weren't you?
Yeah, I couldn't figure. Have you seen it?
Exactly, mate. That's what community should be about. That was obviously surplus to him, and rather than it sitting on a shelf, he's moved it on to someone that needed one and now can make use of it. Now that, to me, is what it's all about. If you've got something and you can afford to pass it on, pay it forward, man, and do something good for somebody else. Because, you know, good on you, bid, as far as I'm concerned, because that were a generous gift.
Unreal, absolutely unreal. Cracker. And I'm saying,
and anybody that can silence Will gets a thumbs up from me.
Never. Oh, it's just a good laugh, though, isn't it? Honest to God.
It is. Now, I need to ask you all a favour if you could do. If you could all do me a huge favour, because I would love, there is 87 people watching. I would have thought the vast majority may already be subscribed to him, but if you aren't, can you do me a huge, big favour? And I'm going to bring up his channel and post it in here for you.
No need, Gaz. It's all right.
Well, yeah, I'm quite happy to share yours too, mate. Not a problem. But Skeggy is 30 shy. He's 30 shy of the 1K mark. Now, it would be fantastic if we could get him there this evening. So if you don't and you're not, give him a sub. Let's get him up there. Let's give him that 1,000 subscribers. He's 379 videos, random stuff, like koi keeping, evolution of pond and fish, and rubbish videos. That's what he says in there, not me. I didn't say that. That's what I'm just reading up.
Can't help him, really.
What's Rick showing off there?
I'm trying to get my hair so white, it's glowing off the light.
Mine does the same, Ricky. There's nothing you can do about it. Just for me.
My wife said to me, she said, yesterday, she was walking downstairs behind me, she said, do you know? And I said, no, what? She goes, you've got a band now all the way around your head. We're going to have to do something about that. So I'm guessing
you've got problems with white hair.
I'm guessing I've got a full on line now where my hair's gone from one colour to the next. So don't be surprised if you see me with some of that, just for men washing stuff like I've been choosers, because look how dashingly young Vince looks, being 7 years older than me.
Youngest on it.
Ricky shouldn't have white hair at 34, should he?
I shouldn't, mate. Must be in the genetics.
I think they call it distinguished.
Oh, I hate it when people say
thank you.
Distinguish that.
I used to say you look like Philip Schofield, but
Yeah.
Distinguish that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh dear. Elizabeth, would you pick a fish for us? Would you like to join us and come on and pick a fish for not next week, the week after? If you would, we can have somebody pick us a fish from the States. That'd be the first person from overseas that's ever picked a fish for us for our koi appreciation. How about that?
do it.
Or give me a fish that you would like to see everybody send photos in for the week after.
Not blue marlin.
Oh, that was not blue marlin. Koi.
I'm already subscribed, unfortunately, Skeg, so I can't subscribe again.
Me too.
I'm not sure I am.
Let's give him a quick refresh and see if he got any. You got two. Two's better than none, Skeg. There you go, mate. I give you a shout out, but hopefully, fingers crossed, some more people. I would have said the vast majority of people probably already are, mate.
I'll subscribe on my phone as well, Skeg.
All your pond supply league. Skegness
Yeah.
Pond Supplies.
There you go.
Frankly, Coy needs a little shout out, mate.
How about, there we go, Elizabeth has chosen one for the following week out. Can we have one of the admin do us a huge favour and make a note of that? Because I'll forget, and then I'll have to travel through 2 hours, 34 minutes.
I've got a very nice one then.
Vince has too.
That's the one I can't say.
Have I got one?
Never sounds right.
No, but you could always pop to New Forest Toy and pick one up.
We've got plenty of them.
One of them.
Kikikuru. So there we go. So
Like
for next week, we've got the Aka Matsuba or Matsubas. And the week after that, we've got
Kikos.
I can't even properly say it.
including the Benny
Kikos.
Kikikuru.
Yeah.
But that'd be a Benny Kikikuru, not.
No, just straight.
We're just going to stick with straight. Kikikuru.
So we got any this week?
See, why do they have to confuse you? Why don't you just call it Kiki? Or the
Kiko.
yeah.
Kiko.
Kiki, yeah.
Metallic
And
black
for the
and
week-
white.
Right, okay, Paul's just said, shite, I forgot about that, mate. Paul's just said as well, I put Becco, but I wasn't allowed it. You were, so what we'll do, right, there we go. We've got Akamatsuba or Matsuba for next week. The week after will be Kikikuru, and after the Kikikuru, we will have a Becco. Going to practice it, Will. You ready? Kikikuru.
Hang on, I thought it was Kiko
How many
Curious.
people out there that didn't have a Kikikuru?
Kikikuru.
Not many people have got a Kikikuru. Let alone
Kikikuru.
Oh, I've got a big yellow one. Fish, that is.
You
I was going to say, that's unusual.
Yeah, I've been worried.
Well, that's the next 3 fish for the next 3 weeks picked. And that one, the Becco, that's going to be a difficult one. I don't think there'll be very many people have a Becco.
I got loads.
Years.
Your orders
Got my
in.
new Beccos.
Obviously, you. Well, we could also go. I mean, I could do two.
For a small fee, I will
I've got
sell
an
you.
Becco and the Becco. If anybody doesn't know what an Becco is,
Squash tomato.
squash them. Dad, you've got tons of them.
I did have till someone persuaded me not to have them anymore.
No, there are some in there. There are
Is
some in there, mate, because
Yes, there is,
like,
because you sneaked the buggers in, didn't you? After I took them all out, you went
He's got an
around
Becco as well.
and put some in every
And a
pot.
Becco.
What's the difference between a Becco and a Shiro?
Shiro.
Sure.
It's Shiro.
An Becco is shit. And a shit.
An Akabeko is basically a red fish with black spots. Anyway, Gaz, can you put me in the backstage for a minute?
He's off.
We can put you into that.
So you get key Becco, Akabeko, Shiro Becco. So basically, they're a coloured fish with black spots.
Yeah.
White fish with black. So the most common is Shiro Becco, which is probably where that's going. It's a white fish with black spots. You get yellow fish with black spots, red fish with black spots, and
Orange
then
fish with black spots.
But the Shiro is a black fish with white.
Shiro Tsuri. So an Tsuri is a black fish. So they are quite different.
I had a
They're
Becco
more
years ago,
bigger.
just a
Pattern on.
white and
Or
black
Ricky
Becco.
didn't buy it 30.
It's called Daisy because it was the cow in
Not a
the
high. Hang about, we've got to do it because just for Vince, it's not a high Utsuri, it's a he Utsuri. That's Vince's favourite one. He likes to do it. I just thought, so it's don't remember the high as a he, not a high. It's he. He.
Vince the Jack.
And then you've got a Ki Utsuri, which is a yellow one. Then you've got King Ki Utsuri, which is a metallic yellow one.
No, that's confusing.
Right.
Too many, isn't there?
Right. And then you've got the what's the
Hornets.
horn? What's the
What's
horn?
the horn?
What was it?
Point, Ricky. We were trying to remember before.
Deutsch Ginrin Kinki Tsuri.
Yeah, God damn it, it was a mouthful. Deutsch Ginrin Ki. What?
Kinki.
Kinky.
Deutsch Ginrin Kinki Tsuri.
So
So it's
Watch
black
out
fish
for those. I'm
with a
telling you
metallic
now,
yellow pattern. With Deutsch
remember
scales,
it,
Ginrin.
it's the 17th of the 8th, 17th of August, right? You heard it here first. When those fish come out and they're at saleable sizes, get yourself down there or get yourself on that website because they're going to sell like hotcakes. I swear to God, they are stunning. Absolutely beautiful. What you will have to remember is, though, in the video that's dropping on Friday night, I do dibs several of them. So whoever gets them, they belong to me.
Can I just say something? I had a customer phone me up panicking because you dibsed all those fish in that bowl, the bigger carcass, and he's going, "There's none left. There's none left. They've dibsed them."
You've got
they never dibsed them all. It's all right.
Yeah, I've got some good fish, Rick, and I've got. We were talking about it earlier on, mate. And honestly, I probably did go on ranting for about at least 3/4 of an hour. We had a wicked time, mate. We're absolutely fantastic. We're belting.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Well, Ricky, that was really nice of you not to name me. I wasn't really panicking. I just.
It's the closest thing to Japan you're going to get. We're a lot closer.
Yeah. You name it, mate. You name the date, the time. I'll be there. I'll help out anytime. That we're absolutely fantastic. To learn what we're looking for, and to be getting lessons to say right, yes, no, for this reason, for that reason, for the other reason, and then to think that we'd spotted them all, and then you just walk in and go, "What about this one?" Like,
what about these things here?
Yeah. What about those ones? But that's what you need, though, isn't it? When you're going through them, that's what you need to know. Because I mean, the mouldy ones, I was looking at them thinking,
mouldy.
That's a mouldy carp. That's a mouldy carp. But that's a mouldy carp with potential. I can see the difference between the two. Although when they get bigger, man, they don't look no like that. That was the thing for me more than anything, is knowing what they look like before they get to sizable sale fish. Because my God, does some of them change?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. To be fair,
for example, the goshkis, so different in colour at this size.
Nothing like what you'd expect to go.
No. And the one where you turn around and said, that there is a prime example, which you'll see in video, that there is a prime example of the perfect version of a goshka. That is what you're looking for. That right there is the business.
I knew it was mouldy.
That's no good, that one. And you pick it and go, that's the perfect one, which then made you think, right, cool.
Yeah.
Every day is a school day, isn't it?
Yeah. Vince, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm pretty sure you can in there. Just give me a thumbs up when you want to come back here, mate, when you're good.
Every Thursday night's a freaking school day.
Isn't it?
That's why I'm late, isn't it, Will? It's like being at school, isn't it?
Right, I want to shoot off, mate. So, should we do that video thing?
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll give you a bell and we'll sort something out, mate.
So, you've got to say at the end of the video.
Many people, anybody that wants to be in on it, that would like to be on the loop.
Yeah.
If you've got means to contact me, drop me your contact details and we'll send it off and we'll start doing it. But we won't pass anybody's numbers on without anybody's permissions.
If I understood
a bit of a giggle.
If I understood what we were going to do, I'd do it. It's fine, you know.
It's easy, Tony.
That's the thing, Tony. That's the thing, right? He could just stand there in his garden, neck a bottle of beer and say, my name's Will from Will's Koi and I like sheep. It could be anything. The idea of it's supposed to be random. It's spontaneous. It's not supposed to be you do what you want. You put into your video, you take over from one person, put what you want to it.
So he said that, I take over from him after he says he loves sheep, and I say, and he lives by a cliff.
Exactly. And then you put your little spin on the end of it and pass it on to the next person for them to have to deal with.
Yeah.
We did it not long ago in our little group, in our WhatsApp group. I started a story off.
That was funny.
And I turned around and said, the next person puts in the next chapter. And it went on for a full day. And by the time we'd sat there and listened to it all, man, it was some of them. Some people were pretty damn good at it. They were like listening to a novel.
Yes, shining. Finding the camera off the light.
Yeah, but guys, what you're gonna have to do, mate,
The white.
is not make the video too long.
Yeah, well, it's got to be. You've got, I don't know, let's say
something like that.
30 seconds or a minute to talk,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah,
Tony, you could do a dance move. You could just show us a dance move.
Yeah.
What do you know about me and dancing, then, Ricky?
I've heard whispers, mate.
We did you as a private dancer, a dancer for money. Any old music would do.
Ah.
You start
Well,
a new
no,
thing.
it's not.
It's not pole
Thank you,
dance.
guys.
Tony. You do
We've
bowl.
seen the bubble in the garden.
I'll speak to you
Thanks,
later
Dad.
about it. See what we can sort out, mate.
All right, man. All right, later, guys.
See you later.
And he wears wellies to stick his feet into. There you go. See, could be anything.
Fucking sheep.
A little bit of light-hearted banter and fun. Elizabeth says, I have a small Benny Kikikuru and a larger gunmetal Kikikuru. I guess it's called a gunmetal colour. Now that would be, that's just a Kikikuru, isn't it?
Kikikuru, yeah, it's fine.
I got
Get
a
them
Benny Kikikuri. You?
Metallic.
We'll all find one. I'll find one that doesn't work.
Yeah, this was the thing, right? Rick sent me in a picture of a blue fish. We got to his shop, and I shit you not,
There were hundreds of them.
there was literally blue fish everywhere, pure blue shisuis, all over the shop, in all sorts of different sizes, from sort of like this to some of these, and he had tons of them. And he sent me
All blue
he sent
fish.
me a massive orange one. I'll show you. I'll show you. Yes. Blew my ass.
It had underlying blue to come through.
In my head, it's a blue fish with an orange pattern. I didn't think you wanted a pure blue fish.
And they said my fish wasn't blue. I thought my fish was blue.
I don't know, mate. I think you need to make these guidelines a lot tighter.
I think any type of blue fish, not any fish with blue on it, was the category. Any type of blue fish. That was.
But
That's
mine,
what it
that
was.
is a blue fish.
This is a blue fish, ladies and gents. Are you ready?
I can't see anything.
It's got to have 50% blue.
You never.
No, you're making the rules up now.
That's blue fish with orange pattern.
That's an orange fish with a blue pattern.
No, it's definitely a blue fish with an orange pattern. I saw
That's
it when
more
it's
orange than blue.
How much blue's on its sides, though?
naked. None.
Oh.
How about the other side?
Well, that's 75% orange then, surely.
Yeah, but it started life as blue and the orange pattern's on top. It's a breeder. That's a blue fish with an orange pattern. As a show as a black fish with whatever. Yeah, it's all right. Wait, that's over, mate.
But wait till you see the video. You will see me point out several blue fish in the balls in his bats. There's tons of them.
But that's
Lovely
better,
fish,
isn't it?
though. I mean, it's a beautiful fish.
It is.
60 cm female. It's stunning.
That is a banging budgie.
Look at the. That is a banging budget. Look at the zip. That's a good one.
Oh, well, there we go. I'll definitely try harder next time.
God, Ricky,
You had some belted
you got
blue ones.
thousands of fish to choose from.
Feel like being judged, Ricky.
Fine, isn't it? Blue. It's blue. It's a blue fish with an orange pattern.
I mean, technically, the first Miracat that you caught at like 3:30 in the morning was more
That
blue
blue.
than that.
I don't know, mate. I was probably swearing blue, trying to sort it out.
Oh, dear.
Never mind.
If blue is a base colour, it's a blue fish.
That's what I thought.
So the blue, so they are blue with orange overlay then. When on that particular fish, 75% of the fish was orange with the blue.
But a show is still a blackfish, even if it's mostly red and white.
So would a Shisui be born more blue than before the orange develops?
To be honest, they're born orange.
I rest my case. Oh, good.
They're a freak. To be honest, they're born orange and then they turn completely bluey grey, and then the orange pattern comes back. So they're probably not the best example, but yeah.
That one, mate, that one that you pulled out, when you popped out and your hand went, look at that. I mean, that was beautiful, man. It didn't have a single scale on it anywhere.
Yeah.
Not one.
There's not.
If you went like this, you went, that is going straight over. Whoop, and then it went. That didn't even go to the selection bowl. It didn't need to do, did it? It was stunning. But it was 3 times the size of everything else.
Greedy, innit?
That's what got me. There were some fish in there that were all the same age, and this is a bit that I still can't get my head around. You can have, there were fish that were like that on there, 2 cm.
What is that genetics, or are they just green bastards?
Not genetics.
Absolutely huge.
It starts almost early door in the hatchery. So when we set the eggs, you'll have a temperature differential. So even if you're stirring the pond up, you'll have some eggs sat right on the surface. Some eggs sat, so literally they might hatch 6 hours earlier, which means they first feed 6 hours earlier, and they just get a head start. And some of them just kick on, and it's not a genetic thing because you get shooters in whatever situation, and generally because there's not enough food available for all of the everything. So you get a situation where the ones that hatch first or whatever, or the plainer coloured ones or whatever it is, that just dominate and grow and grow and grow. This one. They start to just dominate the environment, and they will go monster, literally. And it's nothing to do with genetics. Those fish are easier perhaps to grow, but then they're not genetically going to grow bigger. If you took them away and picked some different ones out, they'd just grow exactly as. So the trouble is you have too many fish. You can't feed everything to the point. The water's not perfect, so you end up with those that do better. And they then, if they get hungry, they eat the smallest of the offspring in the pond or whatever. They then dominate the feeders. They race off and they become your shooters, your tobies, whatever. They're not genetically going to make. They're slightly easier to grow, but they're not necessarily going to make the biggest fish. If you took out the next ones down and give them the perfect environment, they'll kick on, and you'll find that some of them will have better growth potential than the ones that shot off that hatched a few hours earlier.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why we did what we did in those ponds, as we did in the last one. I'm not going to say exactly what we did because people can watch it when they see the video drop on Friday. But that's why we did what we did with the first one when we were going the colour grading as opposed to types.
Yeah. Those ones in that polytunnel and the narrow pond were what. Just you wouldn't even recognise them against their siblings in a different pond. They were 6-inch fish against 2-inch fish. Genetically, exactly the same animal. It's just been split down and given a different. And they will then race on, and they are then easier to keep growing. But at the end of the day, you keep filling them down and keep giving them that environment, which means they're costing a lot more money to get to 12-inch, 14-inch, 20-inch, whatever. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I'm not going to say it's all relative, but it is kind of it's in the hands of the person looking after them. And it blows my mind even now when, like I say, when we go through my pond of my selected ones that are 30 centimetre fish, and they're genetically the same ones that we've got on the farm at 20 centimetres, and they're the same ones that are in ponds where we're holding them back for sale at 10 centimetres. They're the same. They all had the same potential. There's just 6 months given this environment or that environment or that environment, and suddenly they're this big or this big.
It's like you beat the breeder. You'll beat the breeder. That's like
Tony's on it. He's on it. Are you going to beat it?
No, Tony's
Yours is 27, isn't it, at the moment? I heard from that.
I believe it was 27. It's not keeping up with the rest, but it had to go back, didn't it? It did pay me.
I think mine's got to 24. So that's a lot of centimetres to catch up in an unheated tank.
What you got to remember, Tony, is, and Ricky, the terms of was best quality Yamatinoshiki.
Yeah.
Not
That's
biggest.
in the general one. Beat the breed is just size.
Oh, damn it. I'm screwed. Mine literally is a centimetre smaller than when I bought it.
I'm definitely going to have to start tube feeding mine again.
Evening, Dave.
Yeah,
Good evening. How we all doing?
All good, thanks, Pinko.
No, oh, God, here we go again.
I see you got your nipple protection on.
I'll just go that way a bit so you can't see that far down.
Nicely placed logo for the YouTube symbol right over the neck.
Leave me alone. You got to love a bit of banter, haven't you?
Yeah.
Catherine says mine's same length, just fat. No, mine's not fat.
What's he talking about?
I hope he's Yamatanishki.
Yeah, I'm hoping you talk about the fish, Kazi.
That's the same thing.
Else got any more questions then? No, we're just going to keep waffling.
Keep waffling.
Keep waffling.
Why do they just get fat, some of them, then, Ricky?
Mine's not fat, it's just really pretty. Colours look really nice.
It's a food at temperature.
Food and temperature.
Yeah, if you've got a fish at 26 degrees, it will grow length. If you've got a fish at 18 degrees and you feed it the same amount, it will get fat. So you can build the body without the length, or whichever way round you want to do it.
I need to bang mine in the polytunnel then.
I've got a question for that. Is it? I don't know if I read this, however, I'm sure either somebody told me or I read it. A fish that grows in girth will use that mass to and continue to grow through the winter period and gain length, whereas a fish that grows in length will probably put on fat reserves for the winter.
Not generally for fish. If you get a fish fat and then keep it through the cold weather, it's not going to get longer.
It's not going to grow on. It won't use those reserves to grow throughout the winter then. Right?
Not to any massive degree, no. So at the end of the day, if you've got a fish, from our point of view, if you've got them hot and you can get them to 40 centimeters by the time they're a year old, but they'll be quite slender because you're pushing them. It's then quite easy to drop the temperature, keep the feed going, and then bulk them up. So you have a chunky 40 centimeter fish.
Yeah,
it's difficult to do it all at the same time. It can be done, but if you've got a fish at a lower temperature and you keep feeding it heavy, it will just get fatter and fatter. And yes, if you then give it a high temperature, it will use some of those reserves to put into length, but it won't use those reserves to put into length when it's too cold to physically grow. If they haven't got the temperature, if you haven't got above 18 degrees or whatever, they can't turn that fat into tissue development and growth. It's just not. So you just end up with a fat fish that gets thinner through the winter.
Hasn't flow got something to do with it though as well?
Flow? Who's flow? Water flow.
Oh God! Like with the younger fish, with them getting a little bit fatter, should we say? If you increase the flow or do something a little bit different on your pond, then won't that make them swim more up against it, which then obviously will make them put on a little bit of size or growth, whichever way you want to put it.
You have a better muscle definition, but then they're still not going to necessarily put on any growth. They're going to use more energy swimming against the flow, and they'll have more muscle than fat, so you can change the shape. But they're not going to get longer because they're swimming, if that makes sense. They'll get fitter, and you should give them a certain flow or whatever. But if you've got a big fat chagoy, for example, in your pond, and he'll find the place of least resistance and eat the most food. He's not going to sit in there going, exercise. He's going to sit by the feeder going, I'm going to eat, and just generally get a big fat thing. But if you put that same Chagoi in a very warm pond, it will grow in length. So you have to then increase the amount of food to keep the bulk on it.
Yeah. Sorry, just trying to communicate with Vince when he's ready to come back on. Elizabeth said, has the golden corn been imported to the UK yet? Dealers have had them here in the States, but they're ridiculously expensive. Yes, we've had them, I would have said, 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years now, I think.
Yeah.
And they're still ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. Pretty much like the golden monkey.
The next one now is the latest one, Elizabeth. If you want to have a look it up, look up the golden monkey. Oh, we lost him again. Oh, yeah, I guess he'll come back in. Look up the golden monkey, because they're the latest one that I've seen to have hit the scene back end of last year to this year, and they're ridiculously expensive either. But again, nice fish.
There's a limited availability of them. That's kind of the key.
That's what's driving the demand.
Yeah. And if not so much the golden monkey, to be fair, the golden corn is a breeder's experiment that's taken maybe 10 years to get to the stage you can sell them, and he's commanding a decent price for them, which is fair enough. You wait till you see how much hornets are going to cost you. It's just creating something different.
Now, guys.
I should have checked your pockets when you left the farm, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't ground bait in that bucket.
But it's the same thing, isn't it? If you create a demand for something and there's limited availability, you're going to push the price.
Yeah,
so they can produce, like the yellow monkeys, they could produce 100,000, 2 million a year, whatever they chose. But then the price would just plummet.
Yeah.
So you restrict the amount of them. People want them. They command top dollar. It's the same pretty much anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until another breeder gets hold of a parent set of them and can replicate them in the same manner and produce more of them, and then suddenly the demand will just fall away and they'll be the same price as all the other fish.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
And then
so what we need to do is get some golden monkeys.
Yes. Some frisky
does that mean if he sells all them hornet koi that you get a bit of money then, Gaz? Like 10% at sales for naming it?
Well, yeah, I mean, technically we did hand select them, guys.
Yeah.
They have been graded by the GKP.
Yeah, if any years get one of them.
named them weeks before as bumblebees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I do believe, listen to the ring. Bumblebee, New Forest Koi. Or the Yellow Hornet, New Forest Koi.
It's only because you were attacked by hornets down the lake.
They were sparrows then, mate. Anything
were they Japanese hornets?
Around by me as a bird. They didn't get no insects up here that big. Damn, them things are massive. Evil little shits. It sounded like they got 2-stroke engines on them.
It did.
I swear to God, they did. They really did.
And it's scary because you can't see them in the dark. You don't know where they are.
Now, Ricky.
Oh, there's an idea. That's Skeggy. Rick, you need to take this one quick before he copyrights it. You need to breed a green lantern to go with the hornet. Now there you go. That's an evil versus, good.
Is that right?
The yellow hornet versus the green lantern. So that's like,
We've got loads of red ants and wasps, so we can do.
Yeah, I noticed the red ants too. There was a lot of them around by the polytunnel areas, weren't they, and stuff? The little bastards all over the shop.
Yeah. Security.
They bite you them.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The the tangerine monkeys. Get some tangerine monkeys going.
Yes. Yeah. Again, we're in tangerine monkeys.
Maybe a blue monkey.
Yeah.
Blue monkey.
Blue.
Will it be blue or orange though?
Maybe we have to just we'll get Vince on a poll. Name as many different weird and wonderful koi varieties.
That's the thing, though. Really. That's what they're doing, isn't it? Like the bronze samurai. Come on.
Yeah.
Bronze
What was the
samurai.
red brashy called? Was it Red Dragon or something?
Yeah. Yeah, the red dragons.
I could do Pete's Dragons.
See, size. I'm weird on this, mate. I'd never pay top dollar for a single coloured fish.
Why not?
It has
It's
to be
a
extra
single
special.
colour,
That's
isn't
the
it?
thing.
If it's a good, really good quality.
Because do you not think a single colour is easier to breed than a multiple coloured fish?
Yeah, but you still get
patterns. I mean, you don't have to concentrate on the patterns. You just did good skin luster and scalation pattern, don't you?
But you've still got that small percentage that are really good out of all of them.
Yeah, I suppose there is that. Yeah.
You still got to have your scalation. You still got to have your footprint. You still got to have your skin luster. You still got to have your body shape.
But you still got to have all those bigger pattern fish too, which is more about all those and then the pattern.
Yeah,
you get away with it with pattern fish. They're not as good, are they? Generally,
if you see a decent
You just think of the pattern.
single coloured fish, can look more imposing than a big patterned fish.
yeah.
I do prefer a single coloured fish. I mean, you can't beat looking at a good looking shag, can you? Or
When you think about it, you've got blank canvas of a single coloured fish. Now you're scrutinising that whole body. There's a good chance that you're going to get a shimmy or a dip, like say on a Yamabuki, you'll get an orange spot near the head normally. On a pattern fish, you can lose that sometimes in the sumi or in the pattern. You not notice it, but you notice it. Any little imperfections on the single colour.
Yeah.
they have to be super perfect. A good big single colour fish, body shape. They're just finnage. You wouldn't even notice on a big kahaku, a massive big kahaku. It's amazing if it had a short ray in its front pecs. You wouldn't even see it. On a single colour fish, you're like, oh, well, that's not perfect. They're as hard to do.
You said a Ginrin Serigoi there, but talking of Serigoi, I found a Deutsch Serigoi in all that lot. Man, that was
nice.
That was beautiful, that fish.
Yeah.
I could have come home with freaking hundreds. There were so many nice fish, man, it was unreal. I don't
Might be looking at one of them next year, Ginrin Serigoi.
Yeah,
just looking, Dave, or do you think you might purchase one?
It's one of them, it depends. It's got to stand out, but it's got to become within a budget as well.
Tricky.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's got to look right or reasonable, but not be too expensive.
Yeah.
That's the hardest bit.
Don't narrow it down too much, Dave. I mean, saying that, you can always get yourself a 2-inch one and hope it becomes what you want it to be.
Yeah, I'll just pay a lot of money for something that size. It'd be all right.
Isn't that what his missus says?
Cool.
That big?
I'm taking big. Well, it's about 25 cm, upwards, something like that. I didn't hear what Vince said then.
Good job.
Probably for best.
You said, I can pay a lot one about this big one. Use your imagination, Dave. Come on.
No, I'm not going there.
No.
Si said, yeah, but you can grow a single coloured fish from small, easy enough, and still get good quality from it.
It's being super selective on the initial purchase. Getting one that's right is going to be hard. Doable. This is where you can get a bargain. You can
Didn't
go
he say his shag or something cost him like 50 quid, something like that, would it?
I think it was 20 or 30 quid, wasn't it, Si? Your shag? Come on, I'm sure he did. Chris says, true, but a red tiger Bendigo are not that cheap. They're not cheap at all.
No.
And when you get them, you end up with a nice little tan shell black spot shimmy right in the middle of the red. 20 quid for his jag.
Yeah, but what makes it a red tiger? I mean, a Bendigo is a Bendigo.
Again, rebranding, mate. It's the same thing, isn't it? Just rebranding. Benj.
I mean, because of the yellow monkey business and the Karachi guy now, it's made the Kegoi null and void, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. It superseded it. Yeah.
Until someone does some Kegoi that are good. Calls them yellow whisperers. Whatever. And then
swim around in circles, stumbling, do they?
Yeah, but that's the koi world goes like that. Always has done. A parent set will be used to make a grand champion, and it'll be called Panda. To be fair, Omasaka has always had names: Orca, Panda Junior, Panda Junior 2. You know, whatever. And you buy fish in those parent sets.
Yeah. New name equals new sales.
Yeah.
Rebranding fish that have not done so well in the past or stopped being so well or doing so well.
John Legend.
What they did in the past. Rebranding them, coming up with a different name for them and putting them back out there 10 years later. And people think, oh, it's a new fish. Well, it's not, is it? It's the same fish.
New people in the hobby won't have seen like Makashi Ogon. They were, 5-10 years ago, they were they're going crazy. There's still some of them still sell for big money now. It's just like an old style Ogon, but because people hadn't seen them for donkey's years.
Yeah, they fell from favour and
they suddenly people were all over them.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same with everything. Say again, bud.
I said, in that case, why aren't there people breeding magoi?
Well, there is to some degree, yeah. But it's difficult to market them.
Daz has bred a few.
Yeah, I can't see them. I don't know where they are, but yeah, I've got some somewhere.
I got one in my pond now, in my mini.
But a good proper jet black magoi does look nice. A
good
one.
Proof. Aaron can't spot them.
The thing is, though, Rick, they do look nice, but only in a bowl. Because when they come up to feed, all you see is that's it. It's just a flash on a surface, a breaker surface of water. Because I don't see that unless it swims right in front of those little windows. I didn't even know the damn thing were in there. So I said, it's
been there 2 years.
Well, no, it's been in there. No, maybe 3 or 4, 5 or 6 months been in there. But I didn't know it were in there until such time as I give the pond a good service and clean, ready to bring home the new fish for it to be used as a quarantine. I was like, there's only 2 goldfish in there. That's all I thought were in there. I got it down, got the water down to a couple of inches and thought, God damn, there's a fish in there. Where the hell's that come from? And then, yeah, look, I got it.
But the way it works, though, isn't it? If you go, you get into koi keeping and you go to a Japanese dealership for 10 years and you see Kahaku, Sankey Show, all these, and suddenly they import a load of bronze samurai or Makashi Ogons, and you're like, I've never seen it like that. They're amazing. They're £1,000 each, and you buy them, and then the next day you go to visit the local park or your garden centre, and they got hundreds of them, like ghost carp, or they're kind of the same thing, and you're like, oh, hang on, I've just paid £1,000 for that. But because if you haven't seen them and you don't know where they are, if you're used to seeing top end certain varieties and something different pops up, you're like, wow, I've never seen anything like that. And yet that could be, something that you could just literally go. I'm not saying you can go and buy a good Makashi Ogon or a good what you're not, but they are much more similar to ghost carp or to older school Ogons. And you can end up paying top dollar for something that's actually not worth anything like the same sort of money. So,
yeah,
it's just how it is, isn't it? It's what you're used to seeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You come and see us, you see all sorts. But we still get people that come in and they're just blown away by blue fish. I've never seen a blue fish. You're like, well,
yeah.
Apart from you, because you couldn't pick one.
You don't see them. in Japanese.
Well, I've got one in the pond. It's a shisui, and it's really blue. And I hate the thing. I don't like it at all. And every time my mate Rich comes round, he says, "I love that fish." He says, "If I was going to have a pond, he says, I'd have that fish in my pond." Bloody horrible.
I like it, that.
I don't like it. No.
Is it because it looks like a budgie? Is that the problem?
Yeah, that's it. Gaz has just ruined it for me.
I broke it, didn't I? As soon as I called it a budgie, that's it, done it.
The thing with them is they're a cull. So if you do shisui, they're the ones that you'd cull off. The plain blue ones are the rejects, and the plain orange ones with the black spine are the rejects. So you're picking those, and then you're picking the fish. So when you do keep the odd one and people want to buy them, it's like a plain orange kahaku, a benigoi, or whatever. They're actually stuff that normally you'd reject. Shiramuji, you'd reject.
Yeah.
Blue.
Now, come on, Rick, don't lie. We selected a Shiramuji. You had a Shiramuji in your mega pond.
Only because it's lost its red. It was a kahaku.
It was a kahaku, then was it? It was, all right.
That's what they are. They are basically a kahaku that's lost its pattern. So, and that's a reject in what you're trying to achieve. So technically, if you're breeding ochibas, all the chago and sorogoi are all rejects. But suddenly people want them, and they're we'll keep them. The best ones of them are quite nice, and you can market them. But
I've got a question for you, Rick. If you get a fish like say a kahaku that's lost its red, would you still use it for breeding? I mean, technically, it's still got the genetics there. Or
no.
The fact of it losing that colour, does that make it prone that all its offspring are going to have the same folds?
Yeah. So basically, you wouldn't use it. It depends on how old it is when it's lost it and the manner it's lost it. But generally, it wouldn't be an ideal parent fish if it's not the longevity of the colour's not there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can you all hear EastEnders? I'm just asking. No.
Only very quiet.
All right.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's going on. It all sounds like a big pub fight all the time. Yeah, you wouldn't use a parent fish if it's 20 years old and it's been amazing for 20 years and then it's deteriorated. Yes, you might still use it if it's exceptional, but you wouldn't pick a 3-year-old fish that was a good kahaku that's now Shiramuji that's lost its colour because you're just going to pass on that genetic trait. And you're going down a bad path. Technically, you want to be using the best quality fish, and the longevity. If you've got a parent fish that's 20 years old and still looks good, that's a much better fish to be using because it's got the longevity of color and the pattern. You know what you're looking for. Yeah. But things move so quickly in the koi world. It's like improvements are made. And 3 or 4 year old fish are used as parents because they're so much better than the last generation. But what you don't realise then is that's when you can end up producing fish that don't live very long. Because at 7 or 8 years old, you might have bred in a heart condition or a problem that you haven't seen because you're not growing them for that length of time. We're not had them that long.
Yeah, proven record.
And it's something that. It's difficult because you're always aiming to improve and change, but doing it in the right manner. And you can do it at the best will in the world. You're using the best fish in terms of growth potential, but you might find, like I said, those fish actually age and die much earlier. And you don't know that until you've done multiple generations and then suddenly realise that they all keep dying with the same problem. Yeah. And so you get some breeders in Japan that are big on longevity. You know, they try to use broodstock that are old, that look good. So the fish they're selling will last for years and years and years. And other people are just chasing the growth, chasing the quality early doors, because that's when you're selling the fish. And what it looks like 5 years down the line is kind of not such a great concern. So
it's not easy. It's not as easy as you make it look, then, is it? Really, because you're always trying to think of the longevity, but you're also trying to get the quality there as well.
Yeah, you've got to have a sellable product. Thank you, Vicky. Take that one. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's to run a business, you've got to be able to sell the product to run the business. So there's no point producing fish that at 20 years old will look great if you can't sell them at 2 years old, because you've gone bankrupt before that's occurred. And the numbers as well. So we've got some parent fish that produce the best fish, but they produce the numbers of good fish are so poor that we can't sell the good ones for enough money to warrant it. So we have to cross different fish in to create a lot more sellable fish at an earlier age, and those fish might not grow out to be show winners, but if there's 20 times more of them we can sell at 2-year-old, then that's just part and parcel. That's what you've got to do. You've got to pay the bills. And in a dream world, we do certain stuff that we know is going to pay the bills, and then we experiment with stuff that could go well. Yeah, could be the ugliest, and it don't pay the bills. But that's, you don't learn unless you try stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And I
keep learning.
And
learning. And that's the interesting part, though. Oh yeah, of course. It's for me all day long to do. Once you've got a nailed parent set, it doesn't matter how good they are. The interest wanes because you know what they're going to do. You know how they develop. You know the numbers and
you're going to get a few variants, but generally you're going to get the same sort of thing every season. Yeah.
But when you cross something new parent fish, you just change it all, and then it gives you a whole new buzz. Yeah. You always think they're going to get better. Yeah. Oh, this will add this to the thing, and the reality is they generally get worse because you've put something different in. But you learn and learn and learn, and probably every 6 spawnings we do, one's a success in terms of an improvement. A couple are down the line, and the bulk of them are actually you learn from that mistake not to do it again.
Well, I was about to ask you that. Have you ever done a cross where you've gone, that sounded good, and it in my head it were good, but then in reality it was garbage? You went, nah, scrap that.
Loads, 100, literally. So many you wouldn't believe it. But that's, to be fair, like Vince was saying about the Mark Gardner ones earlier. So the original parent crosses he did, we replicated, and the Benny Kikakuru, I know he had problems with the colour falling off of them, but we did we had so many more, and I had 1,000 toesight in September that were nice pattern, looking good fish. And I cherry picked the best 100 that went into my growing unit, and the other sort of 900 stayed on the farm. They stayed the same, looking all right. The ones I pushed with heat, patterns fell off, every single one of them. Literally, they went from good fish to garbage that first winter. And that's an indicator for me that suddenly I was like, hang on, all these fish we've got 900 here. If we put all 900 out for growing on, and they do the same thing, which they will do, we've now got a whole mud pond full of plain Kikakuru, which is nice, but we can't sell. They've lost all their pattern. So you then revisit the parent set. So the same female crossed with a different male, one of ours, totally different ball game. You know, they start good and they develop nicely, but until you've done that, you don't know. So that instability, we've done it with Harawakis. We've done it. We've had 100,000 Sankies that literally from one parent set, and they all get to the same age, and the Benny starts falling off them all. And you've gone from I'm going to rule the world with this lot to I can't even pay the bills with this lot. Yeah. They go from and that's coy. That's
But you do a lot of backbreeding as well, though, don't you?
Huh?
You do a lot of backbreeding as well, though, don't you? With like second generation fish back to
our own. Yeah, we once we know the parents and the grandparents, you just get a much more stable outcome. And from that, from a business point of view, it's a lot better saying, well, I've got 100,000 fry. I know 10,000 of these we can keep in September, and they're worth £2 each at 4 inch, and they all look nice. And you just got a stable amount of money from those fish and from wherever. the danger is when you put all your eggs in one basket with this new super duper spawning, and they look amazing, and you put all that money and effort into them, and then the first time you push them under heat when they're 2-year-old and the pattern falls off, and they're worthless, and you're like, that way do you go? So some varieties are safe. You know, you Chagoy, and you got safety in certain stuff, and then the stuff that can warrant better money. It's the danger, isn't it? Showers, if assuming never comes to showers, then it's hard work selling them. Or if the Benny drops off them, or it's not something you want to do. I wouldn't go. You'd struggle to go to a bank manager and get a good investment for a koi farm when they started looking at the numbers, started looking at all the stuff that goes wrong. Yeah. You'd be in trouble.
There's a lot easier ways to make money.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it's an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think potential-wise of the YouTuber's choice that you've done? Do you think you're happy with that? What you've seen so far? Do you think that they've got potential to?
Yeah. I don't think they're.
Good.
I think the numbers wise.
Have you done that type of spawn before?
On a small scale, was just a little knockabout, but not with those actual parents. So
this is going to be an arrow for you. This is like straight away. You're straight back into the realms of you could end up with fish that are going to be belting, or they could drop off in 12 months and not do a great deal again. So this is a new avenue.
Yeah, well, that's the best bit about it, isn't it?
The not knowing.
Technically, there's some of them that are looking, very good.
I'm going to shoot off because I'm going to see if I can get an early start in the morning. So enjoy the rest of your live, and I shall catch you tomorrow.
Just a quick one, Dave. Canon's cameras has said, how's the computer working out? That's how good it's working out. There you go. You can't even stay connected.
Hang on.
Have we got any more for any more? Is anybody else out there that's got a question they would like to ask the panel? Or you've got it all here? And obviously not Dave, because he's just left. If not, then what we're going to do is we're going to say thank you very much to you all for joining us this evening, and thank you very much to everybody that's selected the fish for next week, the week after, and the week after that. And to recap, we've got the first one, which is going to be Akamatsuba, or any type of Matsuba, and then after that we have the Kikikikuru, and then after the Kikikikuru we have the Beko, and we'll go with any type of Beko. If you've got an Akabeko or any type of Beko, we shall go with that one, because I think that'll be interesting to see a lot of different nice looking fish from all those selections. I think we should have some nice stuff to look at.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen, and joining us this evening. Thank you very much to everybody for coming and partaking and joining us this evening. Usual thing, guys, if you could do us a huge favour, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, keep smiling, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, all. Thanks very much for joining us.
Liam.